Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? Can you guys see me, hear me? See, I can't scroll. The screen's over too much. Hold on. There we go. See, I'm losing the progress bar here to go up and down, though.
Hold on, it's got to add. Now I can see you.
You can see me over there?
Yeah. I can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
No. Oh, wait, my volume's down. That's okay. We're good.
Hold on, guys. You guys can see me and can hear me? Okay. You guys can see me and can hear me? Okay. All right. Now I just need to be able to scroll the comments because I have I'm trying to do this on my MacBook Pro, which I'm not too used to using. So going up and down the comments is actually hold on one second, guys.
You can use my computer on the side.
Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, it's my mic is doing that because my other computer is open next to me. Hold on one second.
I don't have it.
Yeah, then I'll be looking at this the whole time. Is there any way to move the screen over? See, I'm cut off. I need to be able to move this down.
So just move it.
I tried. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, let's see what we got in here. Davisito, Brent, Kung Pao, Paul, Ferks, Dartman, Jonathan, Brent, what's up, brother? Eugene, Alexis, how are you? Trevor, what's up, guys? Sorry about that. A lot of times I'm doing this from the phone and I end up staring down the entire time. But trying to do this on my computers. But I wanted to just get connected with you guys and see how everybody is doing. I know it's been crazy out there. I want to kind of get a feel for how the community is doing, how you guys are handling everything in whatever country you're in, wherever you are. I don't take the community family moniker that I use for granted. I do believe you guys are family. So I want to see, hi, Riley, how are you, my man? So I want to see how you guys are doing, how you're handling everything, and then anything tech that you want to talk about. Biff, Malibu, what's up? Trevor, what's up? Everybody's good. Riley's good. Kung Pao, TCL 8 series are on sale today at Best Buy. Interesting. The new TCL, I should say last year's 8 series was very promising. I think the mini LED, micro LED technology is something that was so promising in the way that it's trying to give you the black level of LED, or I'm sorry, the black level of OLED with the brightness of LED. I think they still have to work a little bit about their control of crushing the black levels. I think that's important, crushing the shadow details. So Kung Pao, I would still wait for very established reviewers to look at those before purchasing one of them. Alexis, yeah, schools aren't opening here. I'm in Connecticut, though a lot of our careers are going back to work, which, you know, I'm also pretty worried about. So I understand. TCL 8 series, very promising. Same with the micro LED, very promising. Again, it's going to be a little hard right now as a lot of reviewers that we really watch, the professional guys, ratings, and those guys, you know, they do give us the comprehensive numbers that so many of us we rely on. You know, as we know, I'm not a professional reviewer. I use a lot of their stats. And that to me is something that, you know, before you buy, let's make sure the contrast ratio and those things are still as high as they were. Hi, sweetie. Jennifer joined. Hi, Jennifer. For those of you that don't know Jennifer Gala, please check out her channel on YouTube. She is a IMAX filmmaker, 8K videos. She has beautiful, amazing stuff. She does amazing work. Check out her channel for Jennifer Gala. You'll see her in the chat. You want to see some pretty amazing demo material for your displays with black level, 8K, 4,000 nits. She's a filmmaker. Check her out. She has amazing stuff. Franchise, what's up, brother? Comment Man. What's up, Comment Man? G Grand from Boston. For displays with gaming with FreeSync, like Samsung's last year's had FreeSync. It's going to be very interesting this year and who has it and who doesn't. Trevor, what's up? For me, when it comes to G-Sync, FreeSync, InSync, all the things we've talked about, this has become the hot word lately, even though they've been around for a long time. You're going to have to really wait and see who has full bandwidth for HDMI 2.1. You're going to see some are going to have 2.1, but are they going to be able to do what you want them to do? Having HDMI 2.1 doesn't mean anything unless you have it full bandwidth. Let's see. Kung Pao, subscribe to Jennifer's channel. Awesome. Amazing work, guys. And with so many of us in regards to Jennifer and the work that she does, when you watch her channel, that's the kind of demo material you want to see on your TVs, especially for black level and blooming, because she has amazing black level. So check it out, because she has incredible work. Music, she does everything under the sun, but she does filmmaking, and she's one of the few people that I know that actually uses 8K resolution in her home. She has the Samsung. You deserve it, Jennifer. You deserve it. Home Theater Man, what's up? Kong Pao, always looking for HDR content. Yeah, she's got amazing stuff. I don't use her stuff on the channel. She works way too hard for me to just put it on my channel. So go check her out. She's got amazing, amazing stuff. I mean, really, really clear. And what's interesting about what Jennifer does, and we talk about, in the last video we did on extraction, she was able to fire off the amount of cameras, the kind of cameras they were using. And it does in some ways show you how 8K is here, but how hard it is to actually use it, film with it, and will we see it on our displays? So check her out. Amazing channel, amazing work, and really, really kind individual, great soul. But yeah, it's been a weird time. I know for me, guys, what we're seeing, or what I'm seeing myself, is making purchases now. So before this happened, as we know that I've partnered with Value Electronics, my plan was purchasing a new display, as the Vizio Quantum XP series for me that ended up dying was going to be bought by my friend Paul or my friend Jim or my friend Cody. But I was looking forward to a 77-inch C9, and then I ordered the 77-inch CX. Darjan, how are you, my friend? What's up, Paul? And it's going to be hard to make those purchases, because when I purchase displays, I purchase them at 77 inches. I don't purchase small displays and then take them back, and I don't agree with buying displays and then returning them unless something's wrong with them. But I wouldn't do that just to review TVs. That's not the way I want to build the channel. The channel is really my connection with you guys, and you guys are along for the ride with me, and I'm along for the ride with you. I would buy something that I would keep myself and something that I would use in my own home. So why I would purchase an OLED is a conversation I want to have today with you guys, and the functionality of why I'd purchase something like that. Check me out. What's up? Cause and Effect, how are you? Michelle Alexandria. Hey, Michelle, how are you? So my question to you guys is buying something you still want to do? The people I've talked to that are larger than me in YouTube and in the industry are still buying things. A lot of them are working from home. They're creators from home, so their financials haven't been hit as hard as many others. So they're still buying. My question to you guys, and I put this question to you guys last year, would you buy these displays sight unseen? Would you go in, and we talked about this with Best Buy with the H9F, the mini LED, the TCL8 series. A lot of you guys were buying those displays without actually seeing them in store. And I do wonder, now that we all can't go into the store, would you make those purchases now? I think for me, I would be confident buying the CX, simply because I think it'll be an improved C9. And if I didn't have a YouTube channel and I wasn't doing this, I would probably buy the C9. But let's see. Oh, Michelle, the projector. Yeah, it's awesome. Let me know if you like it. Michelle was talking about the Optomo projectors. I did a video on that, guys. If you didn't see that, you can get an amazing image for $500. You know, $600, 200 inches. I beat Until Dawn last night playing on that. Let's see. We got Comment Man. 77 inches is an amazing size with OLEDs, simply because it's going to sound ridiculous that their design is so minimalist, whether it's the Sonys, the Panasonics, or the LGs, that if you were to have, I know it's going to sound ridiculous, if you had a 65-inch LED from even a couple of years ago, and then you went and bought a C9 or an A9G, that display would in effect be smaller, simply because of the bordering around the screen. So the 77-inch will be larger than my 75-inch, but it won't be as large as you would think if I went. You guys hear what I'm saying? The design of an OLED is so minimal that it looks smaller than what you already have. That's why I always agree with your next purchase going up. Let's see. Yeah, Comment Man, you do get used to the size. You definitely do. Criticky, how are you? What kind of sound system do I use or have used? I went out and got a 5.1 Vizio for $200, replaced it with my old panny receiver. That's an interesting debate. Sound bars have clearly come a long way, especially, I mean, I have one upstairs, Samsung, it's a few $100s. It's fine. But the Q90R Samsung sound bar is amazing, but they're expensive. They're a couple $1,000s. I currently have a Pioneer Elite receiver. It doesn't have 4K pass-through, but I do have a 7.2 B&W surround sound. So that's surrounds, rear channel, and I have 2 subs. So I'm pretty good as far as the sound goes. I do want to do an Atmos, but that would be buying a whole new receiver. I do have B&Ws in the ceiling that I'll put in, but it ends up being another $2,000 or $3,000 upgrade, which I was, again, poised to do before all this happened. So, you know, that's something I'm going to have to hold off on. Let's see. I got the Bomb Maker Parrot 1. Oh, is that the projector, Michelle? Paul Booth, I've had to rely purely on research from YouTube and websites. You know, and that's why, Paul, I know a lot of people don't, you're going to see on YouTube a lot of people dislike ratings.com, or they dislike Vincent. And I like Caleb from Digital Trends. I like AVS Forums. I like a lot of those guys. What I like about ratings.com is, and Vincent, is that comprehensive, the numbers that we would miss. The zone count does matter to me. Contrast ratio does matter to me. It does matter to me if this year's display is not as bright as last year's. That matters the world to me. And Digital Trends and a lot of the websites that I like a lot, they really aren't going to be able to tell me that. I can't tell you that. But I will tell you that I'm also not a professional reviewer. I am really just you guys. So I'll never claim to be professional or a calibrator or anything like that. I'm not, and I don't want to be. I'm just looking to hang out with you guys. And what you really need is to have those websites go through the numbers versus saying, hey, they like LG, they like Sony. To me, those companies should do better every year. And I don't always believe they do better. I do believe they have step back years. Darjan, will the 950H in the future be updated to HDMI 2.1? I don't think so. I will tell you why. I don't see any reason why they would not include it at jump. The 900H will have it. For the 950H not to have it, there's no economic or retail advantage to releasing it without the feature. If they had said it will be updated in the future, that's one thing. But to not have it out there at all doesn't make any sense to me. And it would take me purchasing it out of it. It would take me out of it only because I'm a gamer. I'll use G-Sync. I'll use FreeSync, variable refresh rate. So I'll use those things. But as we talked about in a lot of the Sony reviews, by not having it and having companies like TCL have it, and even TCL is going to update their 2019 displays. I think Dartman's going to keep an eye on that for me. And if they do, how do you justify buying a higher end display that doesn't have the functionality? That's the issue that the A9G ran into by having such an amazing picture and then not having some of the features the C9 had. Then as the C9 dropped, it became of value, which was so surprising from LG. All right, let me catch up these comments, guys. Michelle, the projector, cool. Did you get it yet, Michelle? Do you liking it? Let's see. I'm way behind on my. Hold on a second. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Anthony Zena, what's up, my man? I hope you're feeling good, brother. Personally, I like FOMO's channel. I like FOMO too. I shouted out FOMO when he first started because he had the Hisense H9F. He's very knowledgeable, and he definitely invests in his channel. He buys a lot. He has a lot of product, and I think he's very good, and he's a positive guy too. I will tell you, for me, you know, I don't follow or get involved in toxicity on YouTube, so I'm only looking to be around people that help bring others up. And FOMO is definitely one of those guys. He's a good guy, and he comes on the channel once in a while. If he comes in here, say hello to him. And this channel, I'll tell you about FOMO. His channel has grown enormously. So he's working hard, and he's another one that brings out really good information, and he's more analytical. I'm not that analytical. I'm just basically you guys, primarily just kind of hanging out, and I do view technology much the way you guys do. Vincent is a funny guy. Yeah, Vincent. I mean, Vincent too. I mean, he's big, and he is a professional calibrator, and I like his personality. Vincent is, when he comes out with these little, you know, zinger one-liner jokes. You know, again, what I think you have to keep in mind with all of us, including any of us on YouTube, is we are going to have our personal favorites as far as what we like personally. I talk to other YouTubers and said it would really be fun to sit with Vincent and even Artings and see what they like. So Vincent is very into natural and accurate. I like natural and accurate, but I also love the image that Samsung has. I also love vibrancy and bright. So that is, you know, for me, important too. So I think even I've had, you know, displays calibrated in the past. I like the results, but I do miss some of the features that many of the people that like natural image don't like. I like using advanced contrast at times. I like using live color. Yeah, Jen, I know he picked up the 8K display. I believe he got that at value. But yeah, he's going to check it out. Let's see. Yeah, Trevor. Caleb is has commented on the channel too. Very nice guy. You know, but even Caleb has said too that a lot of the displays that they get, because they're a larger company, aren't cherry picked, but they make sure that they send them good. So a lot of the screen uniformity issues you've seen on TCL that we see at home, a lot of people you don't see when they're having them reviewed. That's why Artings, they do buy their own displays. Cause and effect. Did I manage to get a hold of Jolster? I have talked to Jolster on Facebook, and we are going to try and get together and do something in the future. Jolster is the nicest guy on YouTube. You know, I watched him grow his channel before I got on YouTube. He was very helpful when I was going through all my defective displays. And I do want to talk about the panel lottery a little bit today too, because that's not going away. And I do want to talk. Ian Stevenson, what's up, mate? Hope Kim's doing well. Let's see. Yeah, so Ian is saying, you know, we talked about this yesterday, Ian and I was saying, beware of the latest Samsung update. It took out Dolby Vision on Netflix. I think you mean Dolby Atmos on Netflix, Dolby Atmos support. I don't have a Samsung, but I know that some of these updates do take features away. So be mindful of that. I really don't update my displays kind of once I get them out of the box. Fame Eraser X, I always get skipped. Did I skip you? Put your question back for me, my friend. I will definitely not skip you. Paul, do I miss Panasonic in the US? I absolutely do. I do miss them. My Panasonic Plasma is on the wall still. I do miss them a great deal. I love their quality. I didn't love where they were headed with their LEDs. I do understand why plasma disappeared. I do understand that as I bought my plasma, I think the VT and the ZT60 were probably the best displays ever made after the Panasonic Elite or the Pioneer Elite. And they didn't sell. And then when you walked into a showroom, you saw these really bright LEDs that were half the money. And the average person walks in. And many of us have to, well, I'm the average person, but many people have to understand that these focus groups, when these companies talk to individual focus groups, their views are very different than ours. You know, they're going to say, like right now, from what I understand, you know, the biggest views of focus groups is viewing angle and design, the design of the display. Very little about peak brightness or contrast ratio or motion. It's really about how things look. Let's see, Paul. Yes, I missed Panasonic. Yeah, Atmos. Ian was saying that the latest Samsung update took Atmos away support. Franchise 254. I'm looking at the new Vizio OLED when it drops. It's exciting, franchise. I would be careful. I would say Vizio, for me, value-wise, like TCL and Hisense, they're giving you high specs. They are giving you high features. It's just that their reliability is not great. So I've had 3 Vizio P series, all defective, and I had the Quantum XP series. You guys saw it on the channel, and that was defective. So I would say I would be leery of a first generation product from them, especially something like OLED. So I would maybe wait and see how they sort it out. And if you do buy anything Vizio, I do recommend extended warranties. I do still champion them. I do root for them, but it's hard to deny. I've had 4 of them, and they've all died on me. So I would just be careful with their new OLEDs. Yeah, Paul, my plasma gets hot too, man. Kong Pao is saying some people lost Voodoo 4K on the last Sony 900F firmware update, which has happened before. You might have to reinstall that. Again, I don't update my displays at all. Trevor, I like the accurate pictures of my 950G for movies, but also the fact you can, yeah, Sony is versatile that way. You're able to enable live color and make the picture look very vibrant. The same can be said for Samsung, is their vibrancy can easily be toned down to look more natural, but they have very distinctive looks. I'm not going to miss Phasm Racer X. I got you. I have an LG C9 OLED with a Denon X3500H and Dolby Atmos 5.2. Nice setup. Do I think that's overkill in a bedroom? You'll never hear me say overkill. My system is 7.2 surround, 2 subs, and the room is slightly bigger than my body. And I want to do Atmos, and I think my ceiling is like 7 feet. I don't care. I don't care if the speakers are stuck to my head. So, you know, Racer X, I would say, enjoy that setup, man. Enjoy it. C9 is amazing. And the sound, I don't care how small the room is. Enjoy it. And I won't skip you again, I promise. Think about getting the Ultra Anthony Player UB9000. I have the UB820. I love it. I think it's great. The UB9000 is virtually the same, just has more audio hookups, and I do believe it has more projector hookups, but the picture quality is virtually the same, Anthony. So you might be able to save. I think the UB820 is $400. Value Electronics, Anthony, go through them. Tell them that I sent you. Even if you decide to get the UB9000, call Value Electronics or email them and let you know that you saw that on the channel, and they'll give you a little discount. But I like them. I think they're virtually the same. The UB9000 has much better build quality. Then I think there's also the UB400 that doesn't have Dolby Vision, but also has HDR10 Plus. So that's also much cheaper. Yeah, Dartman, the Vizio, like I said, people do love them. I mean, the power of what that display was managing to do at such a low price, nearly 3,000 nits, the black level was off the charts. I would recommend the Vizio Quantum X any day. Yeah, Paul, people used to joke about the products, but yeah, a lot of them have come a long way. Phones, everything. Daniel, what's up, my friend? I only buy 4K movies up to over 300 4K disc. Wow. Phasm Racer X. Yeah, it's a lot of discs, my friend. A lot of us are a little bit nervous about 8K and then 4K discs disappearing. I would say we still have a few years left of 4K discs because you're going to start seeing a lot of 4K discs not being 2K upscales. You've had some really high quality, and that's a good conversation too. I plan on doing that with Brass Tacks. If you guys know Brass Tacks, he's got a channel on as well. Awesome 4K, good friend, 4K reviews. And we talked about, double dipping on older movies versus new releases. You look at something like Gemini Man, Joker, even Dr. Sleep, you're seeing a lot of 4K, native 4K versus the 2K upscales. And the 2K upscales, a lot of our favorite older films, I just don't think look great. Typically, I'd buy Star Wars without even hesitating. But I've not bought those because I've been pretty bummed out by how grainy some of the older films look that I have always loved. Oh, franchise, you have the UB820? Nice. You have the C9 as well. Dan, let's get out of church, man. Awesome. Ford 8484. Just want to shout out the TCL 617. Amazon Now, great value. Yeah, the TCL, again, a lot. Thank you, Ford. The TCL, a lot like Vizio and Hisense, they're adding features that only the top end. And I've done videos on this before, is what I would rather see people on a budget buy a high-end TCL or a high-end Hisense or a high-end Vizio or a mid or really low-end Sony or Samsung. I much rather you go with the highest end of those other brands because you're getting full array local dimming. You're getting now HDMI 2.1. The Vizio has 5 HDMIs. My Sony, even this new Sony, only has 4. And I do feel, honestly, between Samsung, Sony, and LG, once you get out of the top mid, the quality drops pretty rapidly. Oh, yeah, Michelle, I saw you guys. You had the Star Wars collection. Michelle Alexandra also has a channel, guys. Check her out as well. I think you did an unboxing, Michelle. She has the big Star Wars collection. I really struggle with those new movies. That's why I could not buy that one. Let's see. AK Phasm Razor X, fake AK at 55 inches is pointless. It's about pixel density at that size, but I can argue that all day. But also, people are still buying 4K monitors and seeing 4K on the 49-inch display that I have downstairs. The pixel density, it's so clean. It's cleaner than my 75-inch by a lot. So 8K in theory should make that even more, but we're gonna have to see. Darjan, my opinion on the soundbar XF90. I don't know a ton about the soundbars, my friend. I would go with, I haven't even seen that one reviewed. I don't follow soundbars all that closely, but I'll look at it and check it out and I'll get back to you. Yeah, 16K is absurd. Yeah, what you guys have to keep in mind, again, so when I'm in Best Buy doing my creepy videos, you'll see me do them with like Hannibal Lecter, and I creep in those places. They know me there. I'm a big boy. So when I'm in those stores walking around with my my phone, it's funny as they watch me come in. But I do listen to I do listen a lot to what the customers ask. And your average person does walk in and say, hey, which one should I get? And someone will say, well, it's this one or that one. I saw this a lot with the Q90 versus the Q900R. The average person sees one number. They see 4 and they see 8. That's all they pay attention to. So they'll say, well, why get the 4K one? It costs X. I'll get the 8K one. And they immediately purchase it. And that's why I think you saw 8K come before 12-bit panels. I think very few people are walking into the store saying that they want a 12-bit panel. I do. I personally want to see higher zone counts. I want to see better blacks. I want to see blooming eradicated. So the jump to 8K will do nothing to get rid of blooming. You'll see blooming on 8K displays as well. So Daniel, since we're talking 4K, my stepdad just built me an gaming PC. Awesome. Am I going to lose picture quality 4K? No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, Daniel. You'll be fine. Is there anywhere to buy an 8K HDR sizzle reel to show off the Z9G? You can go on Jennifer Gallo's channel. She does 8K, native 8K stuff there. You should be able to do that on the Z9G. JC, yeah, the Z9G is awesome. I saw it in person at Value Electronics. It's beautiful. Trevor bought a whole sound system. It sounds good, but I'm disappointed that there is no information displayed. Yeah, Trevor, unfortunately, I think when you have those small heads-up displays, they're pretty limited on what they can put. Eugene, Brian, I know you did a video on the Z9G and it looked good on the video. How amazing was it in person? That's a great question, Eugene. I got to be honest, the Z9G is, I'm going to slow the comments down, guys. Keep commenting. I'm just going to go a little slower here. It's important, Eugene. The Z9G is awesome. It is probably this thick. You know, I did the side-by-side comparison. It just, it still had blooming on it. And I was in a brighter room. So is the Z9G far better than any of the Sony LEDs that you'll find in the store? I believe it is. But at the end of it, I guess when you get into that size and even 8K, I didn't see it look miles better than anything that's out there. Would I still take one in a second? Absolutely. Is it worth, you know, what it was at the time, 13,000, 15,000? I would say no. I will tell you though, I did see the Z9, which was the OLED next to it, which looked incredible. Now that had native 8K, and I think that's where the contrast ratio of OLED does really play a part. People think black level, they think of shades of black, you know, light, dark. Black level is really the intricacies and the depth in any image. Black level in every part of your shirt, black level, face, everything. But the Z9G was very impressive. I think I'd rather have seen it calibrated with 8K content. I think it would have been much better, Eugene. So was it as good as? Yeah, I mean, it was awesome, but I think my mouth was more hanging on the floor looking at the Z9 just because I think the OLED picture just pops, you know, and I watched films on, I will say the Z9G's motion watching Gemini Man was ridiculous at 60 FPS. And the peak brightness, I'd have to see that in a very dark room because that display is a beast. But again, that TV is 250 pounds. Michelle has the soundbar Z9 V, decent, but not worth $1,000. There you go. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, franchise. My thing is before moving on to 8K, I really wanted to see blooming gone. And the reason I'll say that is I had a Samsung KS9800. It's the first few videos I did on this channel. That TV came out at 12 grand. I stupidly paid almost 10 for it. There was almost no blooming at all. The Sony Z9D, almost zero blooming. The Sony 940E, very little blooming. And I feel like these newer displays are having blooming still an issue. You know, the 950H, even though it's small and the viewing angle, you get blooming at the viewing angle, it's got more blooming than a 900E, which is a mid-range display from a few years ago. So I think you should have, you know, there was very little blooming on the Vizio Quantum XP series. But the problem with the P series was the local dimming was not elegant. So it would brighten the wrong things at the wrong time, you know, so that's also part of it. Ian, I have not checked my Instagram lately. I'm sorry. I'll check it out today, I promise. Anthony, you were disappointed with The Rise of Skywalker. I just recently saw it. You got the new trilogy in 4K. Hold on, I just lost that comment. Yeah, you know, if you guys want to talk Star Wars for a second, I just really struggle with new films. That's why I did a review on Extraction, and I was surprised how much I liked it. I think with Star Wars, if you want to see the one negative video I've ever done on YouTube, like a really bad rant video, watch that Rise of Skywalker review from me. Growing up with those films, yeah, nostalgia to me is important, but it's not most important. I'd rather see you never bring up the older characters once than see you destroy them. And I really struggle with, I think the Marvel films are excellent, but that balance of comedy and action, it really, those movies would be nothing without the right cast and the right actors. But you can't, to me, I call it appropriate humor. You can't add humor when someone's dying 2 feet from you. You know, I don't want everything to be dark, but if you go back to, say, Warner Brothers, you know, Man of Steel, that movie got panned, but I think it's infinitely better than what they came out with after. They said it was very dreary. Yeah, it wasn't a super positive film, but it's hard to be positive when you're destroying a whole city. So Star Wars, it's ruined it for me, actually. Those 3 films actually ruined it for me, which is why I'll be doing a video on this shortly, why prequels and sequels can actually ruin it for you. They can ruin how you feel about a property that you love so much. Something like The Matrix to me would have been amazing with just one film. And Animatrix was phenomenal. Trevor, yeah, Blooming Gone would be great. Kevin R, do I recommend any Samsungs this year? I have a real hard time. You'll be able to see on FOMO as he does the 8K display, but keep in mind, 8K is going to bring the price back to what 4K was when it launched. So 4K displays are now becoming affordable. I was looking at the 900F at 85 inches, is like $2,500. These prices have dropped. The problem, Kevin, with Samsung's newer 4K displays is that the Q70, Q80 do not line up with the Q80R or even the Q70R. We saw last year the Q70R did not line up with the Q7FN. So I would not purchase a 4K Samsung yet. I wait for the reviews to really come out. I think Vincent did a review on the Q80. You're going to be paying for, there's just so much more quality last year. I don't know why they're doing that. I mean, they were good enough to let the Q80 and Q90 be awesome last year. I'd hunt one of those down, Kevin. I really would. And trust me, and I would say with the HDMI 2.1, do not compromise your picture quality for HDMI 2.1. Because when it comes to blooming and a washed out image, I don't care how fast your display is moving. If the display doesn't look good, it's just not going to be a good experience. On IPS panels, small monitors, their pixel density is so tight, things look clean. You don't mind the black level not being so black. But trust me, when you have a display that is 55 inches or 85 inches, if you see gray and blooming, it'll shatter your experience. It'll destroy your experience, especially playing games that are darker. You'll see, just don't compromise image quality for HDMI 2.1. Devicito, the bright and colorful TV for every use possible, 950G or Q80 or something else. I mean, right now, again, because they're so slow in reviewing the newer displays, and we're in a weird spot because you're not seeing things as reviewed, and we're in that 8K spot. If I purchase anything soon, it will be the CX. I'm perfectly confident in buying a new 4K OLED, only because I know the quality of that will be the C9, maybe perhaps a little better with processing, but I'm good with that image. I feel LED is actually going backwards. I feel they're going to go backwards and then jump up to 8K. So I wouldn't be confident in buying anything this year unless I start seeing what happens with TCL, Hisense. I just feel like Samsung and Sony are really looking towards 8K. So I would say, you know, Devicito, I would still look to the 950Gs, the Q80Rs. Go up to the Q90 if you can, because the Q90 I thought was awesome. Do I think Denon, how are you? Do I think the TCL 75 inches 2.1 HDMI ready, or are they able to software update it? They're saying that they're able to software update last year's TCL. If you want to see that, look for the CES coverage of TCL from the last show. They did cover that, and they did talk about the specific displays that they're going to upgrade, which means they must have already had that built into the chipset. Kung Pao, I have a Pioneer Elite SC55 and B&W 7.2 surround. So that's 7 channels and the 2 subs. Daniel, you're getting a BenQ? Awesome. You'll love it. Why isn't Sony getting into mini LED? They do have, I can't remember the name of Vincent did a video on it. They do have a form of it. I don't know. I mean, I know they're pushing towards OLED. It's really weird where all these companies are, they're kind of picking where they're going to go. They're not like, I really thought that we'd see micro LED from Samsung now. Then you're hearing Samsung coming out with something that's like an OLED, which will be interesting when they come out with that. But if they still haven't done, what's it called yet? Dolby Vision. Brian, how are you, my friend? The B9, I think, is awesome. I think the B9, you lose a little bit in processing, but the picture quality with OLEDs to me is pretty much the same. That's why I will say, even I had the B8 that I rented, and I was blown away by it. So I'd be confident in buying that. Yeah, I would stay away from it from Racer X, the local dimming, definitely. Hi, Adam. How are you, my friend? Guitar player. I love the Rise of Skywalker. And you know what's funny, guitar player? That is completely, I respect everybody's opinion and perspective. And that is the way we do view films. If you love the Rise of Skywalker, I will not fault you for that. And Michelle loves Rise of Skywalker too. I will tell you, I absolutely hated it. I was, wait, what my screen? I was eye rolling in that theater. I went to the midnight release. I've done that since I was a kid. I was eye rolling so bad I left with a headache. And I felt like I was doing pull-ups. That movie was so hard for me to get through. But I have no connection with those characters. I thought the writing was atrocious. I thought the effects were very lazy. And I could tell that they were writing the movie as they went. They basically wrote out The Last Jedi, which is obvious to me. I had no desire to see Emperor Palpatine back. I had no desire to watch him again. So I really struggled with that film. And but I totally respect that you guys liked it. Franchise had issues with his P series, local dimming. I just think they have a hard time with it. BD, how are you, my friend? Thanks for jumping on today. Ian Stevenson, yeah, Jaws and Brass Tacks, who is in the house. If you guys know Brass Tacks, just celebrated his birthday. Wish him a happy birthday. That was, I think, yesterday or the day before. And Ian, Brass Tacks and I were talking about Jaws. If you guys don't know Brass Tacks, please check out his channel. He does amazing 4K Blu-ray reviews. We'll be working together very soon. We're both very worried, Ian, about Jaws. It's my #1 favorite film of all time, and I'm a little bit worried about it, to be honest. Only because, you know, I don't want it to be DNR'd and be too clean, but I know it might be a grain fest. But I mean, that's one I'm buying no matter what. But yeah, if you guys don't know Brass Tacks, please check him out. You should know him because it's my boy. But we'll be doing, him and I, once he gets back into it, we'll be doing work together. We'll be doing some live streams together. Samsung's from 70T up getting 2.1. Yep, they are BD. But again, I would just, as friends, we're all friends here, I would advise do not sacrifice picture quality for HDMI 2.1. I cannot tell you. I have some videos that are on my phone now that have edge lip bleed of some displays I've seen out in the wild. I don't care how fast the image is or how beautiful that image is or how quick that image moves, whether it's 4K 120. If you see haloing at the bottom of the screen, it will pull you out of it. You won't notice it in a screen the size of this MacBook Pro that I'm on, but you will notice it on a display and you will notice it. I just cannot say that enough. I cannot say that enough. Put image quality before you put anything else. And I did a video recently, if you did not see it, on HDMI 2.1 and 4K 60. 4K 60 will be what they're trying to achieve. They're telling everybody 120, 8K. It will be years before you see that. But even if they do go there, I'd much rather you see a beautiful image at 4K 60 than see a terrible image at 4K 120. I'm talking about washed out, all the shadow detail, all the things you'll see in your image. That's got nothing to do with HDMI 2.1. HDMI 2.1 for me is going to be performance based, how things move than how things actually look. And I would just always go picture quality first. And I am way behind the comments. I'm so sorry. Techno, New York Key. I heard there was going to be a remake of the movie Scarface. Scarface, I heard that. Brass might be able to help me with that too. Scarface, do you need to remake? That's my point with these movies. And keep typing, guys. I'm going to just keep reading. I'm not going anywhere. I don't need that movie remade. Tony Montana, I don't need to see Leo DiCaprio in that role. I don't. And Brass and I were on the phone the other day talking about this. Come up with new ideas. Make a new character. They're just so busy remaking and rebooting things. And I'll be doing a video on that, and maybe Brass will join me on that one. We'll talking about Wonderment. Now, Scarface itself was a remake from a very old film, but there's that wonderment about this character. If I already know his arc and where he's going, I lose that. Jurassic Park, all these original films, when you first saw those, just the wonderment. You didn't see the shark at Jaws. By the second and third sequel, if you look at a reboot of a film like that, you already know what's coming. So I have no interest in seeing that. You want to do a Scarface show and flesh it out, then I want to see how he did back in his home country. I want to see, those, all that. That's fine. But as far as those newer films, just make new stuff. Let's see. Best to wait next year. Lakers, Rams. How are you? That's not bad advice. I would tell you, if I didn't have a channel, Lakers, Rams, great comment. If I didn't have a channel, I would not be upgrading anything right now. Except I do have a channel. So I do want to show you guys what's next, and I'm trying to purchase something now. The question for all of you is, how responsible is it to purchase in the middle of a pandemic and a recession? So, having that conversation with my wife presently. Yeah, Anthony Zena, I liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I did not like the movie, though. I thought Jamie Foxx was terribly miscast, and the Mary Jane thing got very old for me, but I thought Andrew Garfield was an awesome Spider-Man. Unfortunately, I am very superheroed out. The Marvel movies, to me, had an amazing arc. I loved Infinity War. I always called it Infinite Warfare. Infinity War. I did not love Endgame as much, and I'm not really sure I'm going to be super interested on the films coming up, because they've really dialed up the comedy, and I don't know where you go after Thanos. And being a comic book fan, I know where they could go, but, we'll see. Let's see, franchise. Micro LED, LG Micro LED. Let's see. I don't know if they're even looking to do Micro LED. I know the Nano Cell they're pushing hard. They're going to have HDMI 2.1. And the Nano Cell, guys, is going to be one to really watch in good ways and bad ways. They're going to be offering so much of the same feature set as the OLEDs, but the Nano Cells that I've seen, other than the 9000s, have been really bad as far as blooming. So now blooming, guys, we're not talking about haloing around bright objects. I'm talking about blooming all over the screen. Knights of the Old Republic, I did play that, Paul. That would have been amazing. Daniel, Jonathan, did I miss you? Oh, Jonathan Rios, almost missed you, my friend. How are you, my friend? Pre-ordered the H9G. I'll let you know how it is. That's awesome. And that's really, guys, how this channel works. I'm not going to be able to go buy everything. Like I said, I think it's disingenuous to buy things and return them. I don't do that. I'm just making realistic purchases like you guys do. But that really does help the channel when those of you that do make these purchases let me know how it is, because we are community. This is a family. So I want to give you the best advice I can on what my knowledge is, but I get that knowledge from you guys as well. So hearing, that you were, congratulations on your purchase. Let me know how it is. The H9G really came out of nowhere last year. And I'd love to see them continue that. I'd love to see them also keep the quality all the way down the line, though, because I think the UK does not have the H9F or the H9G. I think they have others. They don't have the highest end there. I like to see them have that there. So Jonathan, man, congratulations on your purchase. Daniel, do I think Samsung OLEDs will bring the Samsung color? Absolutely. That's Samsung's signature. Samsung's signature is this really vibrant color and a very sharp image. So I would love to see them with a, I'd love to see Samsung OLEDs. I would love to see that. Jay Just Games, what's up? Jay, I beat a couple games, bro. I beat Observer and I beat Until Dawn. Except both those games are about 7 hours long. They took me about 3 weeks to beat. And I don't know if I missed anybody. Check me out. Torn between the B9 and Scared of burn-in and the 950G. Thoughts, again, this is videos I've done a million times with the difference between, you have to like each technology. They are so different. You know, Brass Tax, so I'll keep bringing him up, keep wishing him a happy birthday. He's in here. Have talked about, he has a Q9DR. And will he miss something going to LED or OLED? And there is some things that he'll miss. Peak brightness, some vibrancy. But comparing a B9 to a 950G, they're so different. I would tell you to get the best picture quality you can. I like the 950G a lot. The B9 is gorgeous. I would tell you that the OLEDs, to me, in a dark room, look as bright as LEDs. Not in the specular highlights. They don't blind you, but they look very bright. The B8 looked brighter than a 900E when they were next to each other. As far as being afraid of burn-in, I would say vary your content. But if you're somebody that likes leaving your TV on all the time and you fall asleep with your TV on or have little kids, I would stay away from it. But, you know, they're much better than they were. And I would tell you, you hear things on YouTube about burn-in happening immediately. If that does, I'm not going to say that it doesn't. Oh, it got dark in here. I'm not going to say that it doesn't burn in. If it burns in immediately, that's just a defective panel. And LG and Sony, they will replace your panel. LG will replace your panel one time. Let's see. Brass Tax, happy birthday. What's my thought on the Highlander remake? For those of you that don't know, that profile picture is not me. It's Kurgan from the Clancy Brown from the Highlander. I'm going to just say Highlander film, not the series. Clancy Brown's one of my favorite old-time actors. He's one of the big boys, and I would not want to see a remake on that. I like to see them, if they're going to remake it again into a show and really flesh out that universe. Just Games, me working with Brass. Look, if he does it, Brass Tax, if he get on him, put the pressure on him. If he does it, we'll do it together. You know, we've both been on Spare Change, Shane's channel too. Check out Shane, Spare Change. But Brass Tax and I definitely looking to do podcasts and things like that. But put pressure on him in the chat. If you guys ever watch his videos, man, he's hilarious, but he knows his stuff. So put the pressure on him. I think Brass is only 25 years old, right, Brass? That was his birthday was the other day. God damn. Last of Us Part 2, Anthony, June 19th. I haven't watched any spoilers yet either. I cannot wait for that game to come out. I've been hearing some scary things out of that studio, though. Let's just hope that their quality is still there. You know, we've talked about that as well as a lot of the studios that we love. Rockstar, Naughty Dog, you know, they don't treat their staff always great. So we have to always be mindful, you know, on the quality continuing. Samir, how are you? 900H review from Value Electronics. I don't know if I'll have it. I know that the displays I was hoping to get, that's on hold. Their store is actually closed. The 900 review to me the 900H is going to be very interesting because I think I'm hoping the 900H will look as good as the 900E and the 900F. I don't see how that's possible considering how close the 900E looks to the 950H. So I don't know if the 900H looks as good or if not better than the 900F or the 950G, then what purpose is there for the 950H? So I'm feeling the 900H might be a step below, and they're kind of turning that into their gaming display. So we're going to have to see what its zone count is, if it's going to be full array or edge lit. I don't know. So Brass Tax getting that love. So it's a good response, Janie, that some of the older titles will be upconverted or upgraded to 4K 120. In my opinion, that is the only way you're going to see 4K 120 is if they have a very old title. But keep in mind, guys, again, 2080 Ti can't do it. That card's $2,000. So we are not close to that. Where I am guessing it's going to go is you're going to be seeing ray tracing, which is, you know, amazing. If you guys have ever seen it on NVIDIA cards, you're going to see that be included. Game developers are going to be in charge of what the resolution is going to be. So I highly doubt they're going to put their resources into making a game run 4K 120 unless they're mandated to. And I don't think they're going to be mandated to. You're going to see, but to your point, Janie, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. That would be amazing. My point in return is 4K 60 is incredible. So I wouldn't make a purchase for 120 just because, unless you have a Q90R displays that can actually do that. Trevor, Highlander remake. No, not if you can help it. Buffalo Bobby just purchased a 65-inch Z9F from Best Buy. I like the Z9F, Buffalo Bobby. I do think it was a very overlooked display simply because it was going against the Z9D. I think it's a great display. I think a lot of you guys, when you purchase something, it's hard to be settled with what you purchase. I think it's hard to say, okay, this is what I made. It's such a big choice, but I like the Z9F very much. I think the Z9F itself, even at 75, is still better than what you're seeing from Sony right now. But then again, the Z9, the Master Series are a whole nother level. Paul Booth, did I like 1917? I did like it a lot. I thought it was awesome. Gorgeous. Again, check out Brass Tacks. He did a review on it. Gorgeous movie. And to my point where I think a lot of these newer 4K Blu-ray reviews and Blu-rays are starting to really look like what we wanted a couple years ago. Last of Us TV show on HBO, Anthony. I have not heard that. That would be very interesting to see. What's going to be hard though is, focusing on these pandemic and sickness-based shows during this process. Even a lot of the movies that I love are all post-apocalyptic, which is depressing. I would recommend watching the Virus special on Netflix. It's very eye-opening, considering it was made beginning of last year, before the virus was even out, with Bill Gates and all them. It was pretty interesting. Yeah, Jennifer, it's a crazy time. Again, shout out to Jennifer Gala. Check out her content. Amazing. But yeah, even her and I were talking about, what's happening in the world. And again, this is a tech channel, but it is, a therapy channel overall. And many of us were, Michelle being a filmmaker, Brass Tacks being a music producer, a lot of people had projects that were going to go happen any second that were all canceled. We have people that had opportunities in business. My own career, my wife's career, all of us have taken a huge hit. And that should make not buying things easier, because you're saying to yourself, at least I'm grateful. I get that. But at the same time, when we're home, you still want what you want. You still want to be entertained. And I think if you stop having that need, then you stop being you. So I think you guys should be grateful and all that. But at the same time, we still want bigger displays. And if I'm going to be playing video games, I want them to look as good as they possibly can. All right, I'm way behind now. Oh, nano cell. Okay, franchise. Yeah, he didn't mean micro LED nano cell. Nano cell, again, I would just be careful. Make sure it's reviewed and go see it in person. Josh Edson, what's up, my friend? How are you? Yes, Jay, Just Games. I beat a few games. These guys tease me because if all my video game, you'll always see the beginning. I'm almost done with Streets of Rage, by the way. That video will be out tomorrow. Techno, New York City. You saw Extraction? Did you like that one? Yeah, I thought it was gorgeous. I mean, beautiful. Dolby Vision was amazing. And again, Jennifer was telling me the kind of cameras they used to film that were all 8K. 8K Red was the name. Amazing. I mean, and watching Extraction in 1080p and then watching it on an HDR display, they really did get that 3D element. You really can see what HDR really brings, more than specular highlights, the color. I mean, it really does bring that 3D image. And actually, Brass and I were just talking the other day where he said he thought that displays should have been labeled as HDR instead of 4K. And that's the kind of stuff that him and I are going to be talking about. Yeah, Ian, I would think if Samsung does go with OLED, that they would get into Dolby Vision. I don't know why they're not doing that. I have seen HDR10 Plus on some stuff, and I think it looks really nice. But Samsung, I think they feel they have their image the way they want it, and they don't feel the need to pay extra. And they're big enough to where they probably don't want to pay anything. MP3 Joker, are UHD players compatible with older receivers, or you must upgrade? That is a great question, and one I was very nervous about. They are and they aren't. You have to have 4K pass-through on your AV receiver, but what I like that these almost every decent 4K player has is a second audio out. So what you'll do is you'll have the audio split. That'll go to your receiver to give you the uncompressed sound, and then you can send the other HDMI to your TV, and it works perfect. Yeah, I was worried about that too. You do need to have pass-through, so the image won't go through the receiver, but you will have a secondary HDMI. I wish the consoles did that. They do not. And that's the issue that I have with a lot of Fire Sticks and things like that. That's why I don't use them that much, because I don't end up getting, DTS or anything like that. Yes, there can be only one, Paul. I actually have that in one of my intros. Let's see. I'm really behind. Michelle Alexandria. Actually, LG is replacing my panel for a second time and giving me a TV replacement. There you go. Hoping for the CX. Yeah, that's good to hear. I'm glad. Good luck with that, Michelle. Let me know how it goes. Better to burn out than to fade away. I even got some swords behind me. I have some random head behind me too. Actually, we'll hold on to that because that's going to fall on one of the kids. Oh, let's see. What's up, JN? No Duncan McLeod. Yeah, we're getting into Highlander. Oh, my thoughts on the Z9F at $1799. I don't remember what it was at 65. I think it's 2,300 at 75. I would rather see you grab a Z9F at 75. So is it a good price at $1799? Yeah, it's a Z9F at 65 inches, but I'd much rather see you spend a little bit more and get the 75 inch. I think the 75 inch is a little bit better. But is it a good value? I mean, it's a Master Series, and they're disappearing. I think Value Electronics has one 75-inch left. Dartman, Hisense replaced your display. Awesome. 3 years later, but you had the warranty. Yeah, Daniel, that's a big topic too with Universal. Is going to start releasing directly to home, and AMC is not going to release their movies in theater by going around them with their Trolls of all films. Trolls is going to break the relationship of that. That's very, very interesting. But yeah, I mean, I personally, again, the stuff that we have at home, I love the theater, but I would spend $20 to watch a movie in theater that's home. Unfortunately, I haven't loved movies in the theater lately. Romeo Fowler, how are you, my friend? Loving my 65 LG CX. Filmmaker mode is awesome. That's great, man. I actually like the Netflix filmmaker mode on the Sony. I'll be doing a review on that before I send it back. Brass Tacks 1917 is amazing. I know you already know. Happy birthday to Brass Tacks. He's getting that love. Brass Tacks. Here we go. What does he say? Something to consider for gamers. 8K FreeSync 4K 120 with HDR 2. OLED 4K 8. So what Brasky brings up a great point is that while we're talking about 4K 120, some displays are going to be able to do 4K 120, but without HDR. And some will do it with HDR. To me, in certain games, HDR is irreplaceable. In other games, it doesn't matter at all. But in certain games, for me, like Forza Horizon 4, HDR is a must. So I would take HDR in some games. So to his point, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. That's an excellent point too, Brass. That's the kind of things why we need those reviews. Because just by saying we get 4K 120 without HDR doesn't mean a whole lot. Is not JN doesn't worth getting the CX versus the C9. Just a small difference, right? I plan to stay with NVIDIA, so I don't care about FreeSync support. It would be great to have, but G-Sync is a must. I do think that the CX is an incremental upgrade over the C9. Same with the C8 and the C9, but we've all kind of agreed that OLEDs are pretty much, they have little. I mean, even the B8, you look at the reviews next to each other, they're very similar in terms of peak brightness and performance. I think they look pretty similar. I think the Sony ones look different, but that's more of a color thing. And I do know that FreeSync is supported on the C9. I don't know why it wouldn't be supported on the CX, but I won't claim to know what I don't know. So we'll have to see. I don't see why they wouldn't have that. Maybe because FreeSync being AMD and NVIDIA being G-Sync, maybe that's an issue. I don't know. But I much rather have G-Sync, but I'm a PC gamer. So franchise, I think the LG C9 was the most underrated TV last year. I don't know if it was underrated. I mean, I think in a lot of people, it was in their top 3. It won the shootout from Vincent, and the A9G won the Value Electronics shootout. I think it was right up there. My favorite 3 displays last year were the A9G, C9, and the Q90R. And to me, the Q90R sad because to me, it's the last great 4K display ever made by Samsung, who've made some really good ones over the years. Your receiver's too old for HDMI 2.1. Yeah, digital out's fine. Dolby Digital is awesome. Yeah, 75 inches is the magic size. That's, to me, bigger than 75 is tough if you're going to be close to it. 4K, you will start to see the issues with it if you're too close to it. But then again, that's why your boy has some color. I'm literally like 5 feet gaming next to a 75-inch TV. So my goal, again, 77-inch OLED is what I'm looking for. But you have to keep in mind what my usage is. I'm in a very, very dark room. I use my display very, very little. So it's perfect for my environment. And that's what a lot of people ask me, what's the best display out there? I'll always say, what is your usage? What's the best display for you? So I'm not somebody who says this is better than that. It really depends on what your usage is and what you like. You're somebody that loves to watch TV with the windows open, and it's going to really depend on what your own feeling is. Like we talk about the movies, what your preference is. Some people love OLED. Some people actually detest it. They don't like it. Same with going from plasma to LED. And we'll be doing another video on that. Those of you that are still in plasma, I cannot, it's hard to recommend LED after plasma. I know I did it, and I went into really high-end LEDs, and I struggled with blooming and edge lip bleed. Now, JN, yeah, jumping on the OLED bandwagon. OLED is still not perfect. I'll tell you that. I would say watching the same content with OLED, as beautiful as it is, and watching something that has nearly 3,000 nits, there is give and take. OLED is not perfect. There's times where HDR is absolutely stunning, and there's times where it looks almost painted on, where on an LED, you do see the specular highlights kind of hit. So there's give and take. There is no perfect, which is why we were looking so much for micro LED and mini LED to deliver what we all wanted. So again, for me, my what I would get for myself personally right now would be a CX, an LG CX, which, my wife asked me, why would I buy a 4K display when 8K is coming? Because I'm always going to be picture quality first. So to me, an 8K display, if it doesn't look as good as a 4K one, I could care less about the 8K. But then again, that's just you. I'm not a professional. Shamar Lawrence, what's up? Shamar, how's it going, my friend? Now, Shamar actually has, give a little shout out to Shamar in here. He actually has a Z9D and an A9G, which is, probably one of the best LEDs ever made and one of the best OLEDs ever made. Shout out to Shamar. Shamar, what's going on? 100 million made on Trolls. Is that true, Daniel? I saw the first one in a theater with my kids. I thought it was awful. And I love Pixar. I love those kind of movies. FreeSync needed if panel is 60 hertz and game run locked at 4K 60. I don't think there's any benefit. I think 4K 60 is 4K 60. I don't think FreeSync, helps that at all. FreeSync, G-Sync, it's all about if your panel drops below what the GPU is doing. So as long as your panel can keep 60 hertz as a baseline, you'll be fine. I wouldn't chase that. But I don't know if there's any 60 hertz panels that are going to be doing FreeSync, but who knows? Honey Bunny, how are you? Do IPS TV panels have better color accuracy than VA panels? I don't think they do. They have a better viewing angle, that's for sure. As far as its color coverage, I wouldn't know that with specificity. I do feel VAs have better blacks and I think the color is better. As far as better color coverage, I wouldn't know that. I know that they make awesome monitors, but then again, that's pixel density and size, where the viewing angle is super important. For me, I don't think that they look better. Oops, color-wise, and drop this MacBook Pro. You guys like? My wife wanted to know if I should be doing reviews on MacBook Pros. You guys care about that at all? Let's see. Honey Bunny, thank you for your question. I'm sorry I wasn't able to answer it better than that. Anthony saw the Xbox Series X is showing some next generation games next week. I'm getting a PlayStation. So that's going to be a video topic as well. Is these displays are coming out, or these these consoles are coming out right next to each other. Which will you purchase if you're a gamer? I would tell you that I am an Xbox gamer multiplayer wise, because I am a retro. I'm a hybrid, meaning that I'm a PC gamer from the couch. So I use my keyboard very rarely, and I use my gamepad, which I know is crazy to hear. So my PC campaigns, anything that's on Xbox, I play on PC campaign-wise. My multiplayer is all Xbox. I like the headset. I like all that more than PlayStation. But the PlayStation exclusives, Last of Us, Drake Uncharted, the games they have, and they're some of the best ever made. So if I had to pick between both, I'd probably still rock multiplayer on the Xbox One X for a little while and probably grab the PS5. I don't think the PS5 is going to be a better machine. I just think that their games. What's up, honey? Come say hi. I think their games will be more exclusives, because if I can buy an Xbox Series X game on PC, I'll still buy it on PC. My daughter's being shy. Come say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
All right, get out of here. Out there riding their bikes. Nice to be outside within social distancing. Let's see, JN. You're welcome, my friend. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Again, I don't claim to know anything more than you guys, but all we are, my whole channel is basically, we're just barbershop. We're just bouncing things off each other. I'll never claim to know more than you guys. I learn as much from you as you learn from me. And that's really what the channel is. Let's see. There is no perfect tech, no. Oh, Anthony's been breaking out the old PS3. PS3, what a great system. I had that one at launch too, $700. Yeah, Daniel, I think that, the theaters were cut out of that Trolls release. But, the theaters are struggling. They're struggling to offer. And I don't think the theaters, it's because they're not, one, I think the movies aren't great, to be honest, lately. But I think the theaters have just gotten so expensive. I have kids, so I end up spending like $60 to $80 walking in the door, especially if 3D is forced, and then buying them candy and even a glass of wine. It's like a $180 experience. And again, the films have, in my opinion, not been very good for me to have to see in theater. So they're getting hurt. And then those of us that are enthusiasts and love watching things at home, and you guys can tell me what you think, even watching digital films on an IMAX or a BTX screen, it's clearer at home. It's a clearer image a lot of times. So if I can watch it at home, I will. Especially after what's happening in the world right now. I mean, it's going to be very hard to go into a theater again. Franchise, you're getting both consoles. I am as well. I definitely will. I always do that. I buy them at launch. I will say the PS4 and the Xbox One were some of the rockiest launches I've ever seen, especially the Xbox One. I do believe that the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X are what they should have been at release. Shamar, I'm confused. Sony pricing has Z. So, yeah, Shamar, the pricing on Sony is all over the place right now. He's saying the ZAH 85-inch is $10K, yet the Z9G 85-inch is $8K. Yeah, they're always they do drop rapidly, but their pricing is all over the place. Right now, the 950G and the 900F are like $150 apart, which makes no sense to me. So it's hard to recommend one or the over the other. And you're talking about the heavyweight division, Shamar, where you're talking about 10 grand or 8 grand. They were not going to budge on those prices. They don't care. how much it costs. So they'll keep those prices way up there. The Z9G was still pretty expensive until recently, and that display is fading out. I personally, and Shamar and I talked about this, I was in that, not financially, but I did spend money like that on displays. I'll never do it again. I won't spend more than $4 or $5 grand on a display just because they're disposable to me. Paulo, what's up, my friend? How are you? I'm doing good, my friend. I'm doing good. How's it going, brother? It's taking its toll on you. Yeah, I feel you. Is it true that Sony will not be releasing the A9s this year? If so, they will have an A9H. It will be in the fall. So, Paulo, with the Master Series, they do not release those every year. They kind of bracket them, so they take like 2 years in between each release. Like the Z9D covered 2 generations, and the Z9F covered 2 generations, and the A9G is the same. It's very confusing for people, but I personally am going to look at the CX. I would love to see what Sony's going to do, but the A9H, the way Sony's handling HDMI 2.1 is not something I want. I want it full bandwidth the minute it comes out. I don't want it updated later. And I don't love the way they handle. I want to see them do, 4K 60 and 8K 30. So there will be an A9H though, but it will be very expensive, Paulo. Brass tacks, God. Trolls made 90 million, despite what Universal's saying. It's a huge loss. Trolls made 350 million. So there you go, Daniel. Yeah, that's a huge loss. But Brass and I were also talking about a lot of these companies. We don't think about this way as individuals. They spend money to make these films. When these films are on the shelf, they lose money every single day because they have to pay back their creditors, so on and so forth. So I can see why they want to get it out. But Trolls was a massive hit when it came out. Robert, do I still have my Vizio? I do not, my friend. It died. Check it out on the channel. The power supply went on it. I did like the picture quality a lot, but it just didn't make it. It just wouldn't power on. It allowed me to power on a few times and then eventually just died. Paulo, that is if my funds still allow me. Yeah, that's the question, Paulo, that many of us have is, buying displays now, what's your finances going to be like when it arrives? So my finances are changing every day. My career is not YouTube. I have a separate career. My wife's career, we've all been impacted. Kids still very expensive. Things are changing. So is it responsible? I will tell you as a content creator, I am going to make a purchase. If I wasn't a content creator, I probably would upgrade my PC and buy the consoles. I'm still very happy with my 900E, to be honest, but I am a content creator, and I do, as much as I want to, like I said, partner with Value Electronics and get some displays from them, I still have to make some purchases myself. So that will be one that I would buy something that I really want, and I would like an OLED. Ordered a PS VR, Brian. I tell you right now, anybody who's into fitness, if you have a VR, get boxing VR. Those are my workouts every day. I love VR. I'm using it. I'm a little lazy for VR, honestly, because you can't enjoy it without really moving around, but I think you'll like it. PSVR, especially Resident Evil 7 in VR, from what I hear, is sick. I think Brass actually beat that in VR. Oh, Frank got the CX. I'm glad you're loving it. Yeah, you told me. We talked about the C8 burning in. And guys, for those of you that are new to the channel or new to the community, if you have an issue with a display, let me know. I'll be more than happy to give you the script to tell the manufacturer or Best Buy. I've gotten to be professional at that anyway. How much of an improvement, Brian? Oh, Brian Rupel. Hello, Brian. How much of an improvement picture quality-wise would it be moving from a budget display, a TCL 5 series, to an OLED? I would say massive. It would be a massive improvement. And not because there's anything wrong with the TCL. The TCL's 5s are fine. But I think you would see a massive improvement as far as colors and the black level. And again, black level, we talk about it all day. People think black level is delineation of color, meaning black. Black level is everything you see, every crevice in someone's face. Oh my God, like hell. But holy crap, it aged like 10 years in this thing. But black level is in every surface. You'll see it in robots and fire. You'll see it everywhere. the outlines, I think you'd see a big difference. And don't be afraid of burn-in. I mean, there's a million ways. I'll be more than happy to help you avoid it. Ali, how are you, my friend? How's everything? Romeo Fowler, how's it going, my friend? Yeah, is it Dolby Atmos? We love to watch. Yeah, Atmos is amazing. Yeah, I mean, Romeo, if you have a Dolby Atmos setup, and even these sound bars that have Atmos matrix, you're enjoying it at home. I mean, I used to go see sporting events. I'd rather watch it at home, to be honest. Honey Bunny, will I review cheap streaming devices in the future? Yeah, it's not really my thing, honestly. For me, smart features are not something I care a lot about, because I'll say this, Honey Bunny, is that I have Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, my displays, my Blu-ray players, and I don't really care which one I watch Netflix on. And I have the Fire Sticks. I have one upstairs. They're fine, but yeah, I'll look into doing more of that. David, how are you? Look at Shamar trying to pull brass tacks onto the A9G. Shamar loves Sony brass. Robert H, how are you? Yeah, I mean, Robert, I'll tell you, as far as immersion, we talk about size. In 1080p, I always felt like because of the pixel density, you really lost quality the larger the displays got. I do feel with 4K, Robert, when they're talking about 4K and 4K resolution, it really comes down to the ability to sit as close as possible. And to me, 4K is actually the sweet spot. I've got games. Let's just say this. Let's just say that an 8K resolution game without proper anti-aliasing or proper settings is going to look jagged anyway. I know people with 4K monitors will tell me, hey, you watch like 4K, you'll see PC channels say that at 4K you don't need anti-aliasing. That might be true for a 20-inch monitor. On my display at 75 inches, I need anti-aliasing at 4K. They can tell me that at 8K you won't need anti-aliasing. I don't buy that. I think the more detail, the more images, the more shimmering you'll see. So if you can wait for 75, I would much rather you see go as large as possible. And plus the old adage of being 10 feet from a display, like my 65-inch in the other room I'm probably 8 or 9 feet from it, 10 feet from it. It's too far. So I'm very close to my 75. And I would recommend 75 if you can swing it, or whatever size you're at, moving up. Unless I enjoy that 49-inch I have downstairs, but I'm literally right up to it. Michelle. Every TV can develop problems. Yeah, Michelle. Michelle and I have talked about this at depth with burn-in and any technology. Plasma used to always. That's my other daughter flying by. Take your helmet off in the house, you goofball. I remember Michelle, and I are close in age too, remembering that plasmas got the same exact hate. And most of the hate was because they're expensive. We're going to always dislike things that are expensive. I think that a lot of people hated it for that reason, and if it ever did burn in on you, which it does burn in, that's not something that people are going to be happy about. And I think the fact that, Michelle, to your point, the fact that a lot of the manufacturers ignored that it was happening and they gave no disclaimer at all really bothered people. Even now, if you walk into a Best Buy and talk, ladies, Jesus, if you talk about burn-in, now finally you'll have somebody at Best Buy actually acknowledge it. For the longest time, like, nah, that can't happen. That can't happen. It can happen. It can happen easily too. It just depends on you like to, and I'll definitely go with this analogy, and I agree. My Jeep Wrangler, I can put kerosene in it, it'll run. In my wife's car, I can't just put whatever I want in it. So I think the adage of I bought something expensive, I should be able to abuse it or watch it how I want, that is not something a manufacturer is ever going to agree with. The higher end things are going to have to be treated better. I hope I'm not going too slow on the comments. I'm trying to answer them all. Not very good live streamer, obviously.
All right. ice. I got the ice.
Oh, Paulo, the C9 or the CX will probably be more expensive than the A9G here. Yes, well, the A9G is finally starting to drop in price. And, Shamar, who is in the chat right now, actually has the A9G. I actually have a lot of hate on YouTube from YouTubers because they think I don't like the A9G. I think the A9G is awesome. I just like the C9 better. And it's more to do with the C9's functionality and the C9's color. I love Sony. And here's the thing, and I've said this on YouTube several times. Just because I have a Sony doesn't mean I want a Sony. I want something that's different than what I have. So Samsung, all these other companies, I want a different image. I don't want a better version of what I already have. I want something different. So that's why I'm leaning away from Sony, or I'd wait for the A9H. But, Paulo, to the point is the A9G, is it worth the money? Absolutely. It's a Master Series, and Master Series Sonys are just on another level as far as their processing and how even their build quality. Yeah, Janie, it is annoying. The Xbox One X, speaking of streaming devices, it is amazing. It's a nightmare that it pushes HDR on, so I actually don't use that one, to be honest. And Paulo, you're never bugging me, my friend. Do I think the CX is going to be worth the money than the C9 in terms of picture quality? I do not. Again, if I didn't have a channel, I'd be buying a C9. And but here's the thing: the C9, don't buy it yet. Wait for the CX to become more readily available. It should be in the next few weeks. We're in May now. I don't know what month it is. Let the C9 drop more if you're going to purchase it. I don't think you lose anything in terms of. I think LG. I would actually buy a C8, but I do want the HDMI 2.1. I will be utilizing it. Jason, recommendations for 75-inch TV at $2,000 budget. 75 inches at $2,000 is tough. You'd have to look at the TCL 6 series probably, and one of the Vizios. I'm not sure how much the Hisenses aren't at 75 inches as far as the quality ones. I would say there's plenty of displays that are not great quality, that are budget, that are some of the Samsung, some of the LGs. You can see all of them at Costco. I just don't recommend any of them just because I know the picture quality really, really struggles. So I will look at a 900F. James, did I hear TVs will be delayed to 2022? I have not heard that. Do I think some of them might push back their they might push back their releases? They may, but think about these displays like cars. Car manufacturers, their 2021s are, they're done. They're built. They're ready to go. So it's going to be hard. I think 2020 will be a lost year. I do think it's going to be looked upon as a weird year, obviously, but I think the weird year is going to be more based on the transition to 8K and HDMI 2.1. So that's where I did that video recently. Check that one out about HDMI 2.1. Is it needed or is it not? I personally don't think if you're watching movies or if you're a gamer, you really need it. I think you're better off having it than not, but I would easily recommend older displays. Yeah, Marcus, how you doing, Marcus? Yeah, Marcus has a C9, but yeah, you don't watch that much. You don't put that many hours on it. Totally agree. Obviously, that's the way they make it last. Michelle Alexandria, who's had several OLEDs, to her point and to the point we just made, she wants something different. So for somebody who's had OLED for a long time, she might want to see some peak brightness. I know she has the 8 series TCL, so I think she'd want more specular highlights and want to see. Oh, because to me, again, the OLEDs are very similar from one another. Paulo, really glad I engage. That's all I do, my friend. You're not going to see anything fancy. I just started editing my videos 6 months ago. I have 720 of them. So all I really do is engage. That's my thing, is hanging out with you guys. In 4 years, you'll have to upgrade to 16K. I'm sure they're going to want to sell that. You're going to see 12-bit panels before you see that, but I'm not going to jump on 8K. I have no desire to. Well, again, simply because there isn't any 8K content. 8 series is 2K for 75 inches. Yeah, there you go, Daniel. So whoever asked that question before, there you go. There's a TCL 8 series for 2K. Anthony, Zena, my friend, I thought about the B9 for the EARC, but I'm good with the B7. Yeah, I mean, the audio return channel, I don't use them having a receiver, so it doesn't make a lot of difference to me. I don't care a lot for that, but a lot of you guys do use it. So I have, again, hard for me to speak of specificity about the audio of those displays. I use a receiver. Robert, do I think about the nano cell TVs? I love these IPS displays, but all the reviewers are giving us TV hate. What do I think? Well, Robert, I mean, I don't love IPS panels. Again, only on monitors. And I don't know if you have a 4K display. I feel like IPS panels got hit hard with HDR and 4K. I have a couple of friends that have IPS LGs. There's one video that I haven't released yet that's on my device. The IPS glow around the rim of the display or the bezel is atrocious. So the nanocell, to me, LG does struggle when they go from OLED to LED. They just don't put the same love in. We'll have to see what happens this year. The 9000 nanocell from last year was pretty good, but I don't think it is in the same class. If you like the IPS look, I would still wait. I mean, the reviewers, I just think they see that glow that's around the bezel. I mean, it's unwatchable, some of them. Not saying nanocells are like that. My buddy Paul, his dad took back 3 of them before he went up to the 9000 series. So Robert, I'm not a huge fan of them personally. Yeah, Shamar, if you can swing having both panels, you know, that's the way to rock it. Donald Robinson, how are you? LG B9 or the Sony 8AG? That is a great question. And again, I'll put that question the same way I put anyone that asks me questions about Samsung versus Sony. Is Sony has a very distinct look. The Sony 900E, the 950H look virtually the same in many ways. The upscaling, the processors. Sony's known for their upscaling and their processing. LG is much better than they were. I'll just say it depends which technology which version you like better. I think you'll see more pop in terms of saturation on the color. They're slightly brighter, but if you like the more natural, accurate image, Sony, I think, will deliver that every time. You know, when you look at we used to joke about this with gaming back in the day. You used to see Sega blue, like with Sega games, you would see that amazing blue on Sonic and Daytona. Sony has that image, but Samsung has like that amazing red. Some people don't like that red. Sony is very accurate. So if you want a very accurate image, I would go with the 8AG. But if you want that more vibrant look, I would go with the LG. Romeo, C9. He's asking about the B9 though, Romeo, not the C9. Though I think they're very close. My buddy Paul jumped in. What's up, Paul? How are you, my friend? Yeah, Paul, who's in the chat, you'll see him as TIR Paul. Paul was going to buy my Vizio, but Paul's dad had 3 of the nanocells that he needed to return in South Carolina. Daniel, take care, brother. I hope you're doing well. I'm here if you need me. Hit me up in the comments. Again, Daniel, if you're struggling with anything, if any of you guys are struggling, I don't care what video it is or what the subject matter is, just jump in and say hello and I will respond to you. Daniel, take care, bro. Thanks for jumping in. David said, Nano, no good. I have one. Yeah, David, if you could help out Robert, that would be amazing. Let's see. So do I use a 3D feature on your projector? I do, James. I use it constantly. I don't know if you saw the video that I did on it. I do use the glasses. They're the active shutter ones. They're, I want to say a pack of 4 was like 50, 60 bucks. And I use the PS4. I love it. I love it. I know that in the UK too, they Blu-ray, 3D Blu-rays are still big, But I went back and bought Pacific Rim. I bought Avatar, which is incredible. I do use it often. But then again, keep in mind, James, it's almost a 200-inch image. So, sitting back with the kids and just watching is awesome. It's awesome. I mean, but then again, I always felt like 3D on TVs, unless the TV was huge, you'd have an issue. But it's a DLP projector, James, so it doesn't have any crosstalk at all. I love the 3D on it. So I do use it a lot. The kids love it. Yeah, Frank, I do feel that the CX is marginally better. Raymond, how are you, my friend? You're still using the LG 42-inch 3D TV? Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, Marcus. Again, the A9G versus the C9 was the biggest like conversation last year, especially since the A9G won the value electronics shootout, and then the C9 won the other shootout. So there was always that battle between the two. And again, it's whatever one you prefer. I am a big Sony fan, but as I've said, they have to win me every year. So I haven't seen from Sony. I want something different. And being more of a gamer, I want the vibrancy of the LG. But the A9G, would I buy one? Absolutely. But, Shamar is going to kill me for this. For the A9G to cost substantially more, at times it was $1,500 more, $2,000 more to not have HDMI 2.1. It was hard to recommend, especially since it was so much more expensive. But Sony, I will tell you guys, Sony does not care. Sony, I think just like Samsung with Dolby Vision doesn't care, I don't think Sony cares either. I think Sony is about Sony pictures. Their Sony Blu-rays look great. I think they're more about they want to be what the filmmaker wants you to see. I think that's key. I don't care what the filmmaker wants. I want my images to look the way I want them to look. Yeah, so I did a video on the Tom Cruise thing where he was talking about motion interpolation. And he was telling people, like a service announcement, don't watch movies with motion interpolation. I want to make that decision. So if I want to, like my display has animation mode, I want to put the colors up. I want to put motion on. I want to do that. I want to have that ability. Directors want, sweeping vistas. They want grain. They want what they want. I always, I want full screen. I won't zoom in on full screen, but I want full screen. So I want to know what I want. I want a TV that's flexible. Sony is really always going to be about what a director intended, and you'll see. But Shamar can jump in on this too. I actually like the Netflix feature, the Sony Netflix director feature. I do like the way that looks on Netflix. It darkens the image quite a bit, but I do like the way it looks. We're at 1 hour, 37 minutes. We got 52 people in here, 53 people in here. Wow. I literally thought I'd have 5 of you guys in here, which would have been totally fine. So again, I'm sorry if I'm moving too slow with the comments. Nimrod Khan, apparently CX has an AMD. I guess you mean as far as FreeSync. Is that a big deal? It's not a small deal, considering that the consoles aren't going to have G-Sync. They're going to have FreeSync. So that is something I'm going to have to look more into. I don't know why they would lose that, but I know that the LG C9 has it. So whoever has the C9 in the chat right now, tell me if you've lost FreeSync with an update. That would be interesting. Do I think we'll get more home releases for theaters, James? Maybe, but a lot of states are opening up again. So I know that Connecticut, where I live, is starting to open up, which I think is really too soon. But we'll see. I don't know how quick people are going to be going into, watching movies in a theater. So will they release more videos at home? I don't know. As you saw what we talked about before, they're taking a huge loss by releasing them at home. And they'll never be able to recoup that. Anthony, 3D and the Z9D is very nice. Some minimal, yeah, it better be very nice, Anthony. The Z9D was 10 grand when it came out, but totally agree. Julio Alcantara, 24 hertz is really bad in action movies. As far as what? As far as its motion? So a Honey Bunny, Sony is a traditionalist. Very little improvement next year. They do keep things pretty close. The key is finding the Sony at a closer price. Shamar, always jumping on that Sony. Yeah, I mean, they are more expensive. Samsung's expensive too. And LG is not cheap. If you go in and look at LG's 8K displays, they're not going to be cheap. I mean, their Z9 was 30 grand. So, yeah, it's about timing it if you can. DJ Dell, how are you? JVHXL, how's it going? Thank you for jumping in. Donald Robinson, love your videos on the 950H. What's your bottom line on the TV? Is it a viable alternative to OLED? Donald, I mean, I've been very honest with the 950H. I do like the display a lot. It's just a little hard to recommend when the 950G is so similar. So I would say, again, without HDMI 2.1, I don't see it as enough of improvement to pay a premium. I would say if you like Sony's look, the 950G is more of, it's a better value. And this channel is not about selling you anything. It's about getting you the best display that you possibly can, especially value-wise. So I would say, you know, I like the display, but I would wait to purchase it because it's expensive right now. Is it a viable alternative to OLED? I mean, as far as a viable alternative, it's not going to look as good as an OLED, especially when you see the Sony OLEDs at 49 inches and the CX, I don't know if it's 49 or 48. Wait till you see an OLED at that small size. They're going to look unreal. So if you want to wait, you know, I would wait. Robert, do you like fighting games? I do. I'm actually playing Streets of Rage right now, but I do play Street Fighter, Tekken. I just picked up Soul Calibur on Steam. I liked them a lot more back in the day, Robert, back when someone was next to me fighting. And I used to like the single-player campaigns in those games a lot more. JVHXL, did I hear about Sony having HDMI on their older sets, but locking them through firmware? I don't believe that. I know that's been big on Reddit. I've gotten a lot of questions about it. I don't know why Sony would do that. Even when they updated to Dolby Vision, they let you know in advance that they were going to update them to Dolby Vision. I don't know what advantage they would have by locking away HDMI 2.1 and then saying, surprise, we have it, because they're going to lose market value by holding it back. I don't see why they would hold it back. It makes no sense. To hide it makes no sense at all, especially with the PS5. So even if they do say, let me go back with your comment. I'm sorry, JV. Even let's just say hypothetically Reddit is accurate, and they do say, hey, we have HDMI 2.1, and when the PS5 comes out, they're going to say, surprise, we have it. I don't know what benefit they would have doing that. I mean, people are already going to buy what they're going to buy. And then they're going to have people say that an upgraded HDMI 2.1, which you can't upgrade over the air, you need to have it built into the chipset, from what I understand. I'm not an engineer. People are going to say, well, look, my HDMI 2.1 is better than yours because an implementation better than one that was upgraded. So and I'm not a big conspiracy guy. This is not my thing. I don't, do I think it happens? Who knows? But I don't see the advantage in it at all. So I don't believe it. I see no advantage to it. I hope I'm wrong, but when you see TCL, Vizio, and these guys releasing HDMI 2.1, I would have no idea why Sony would not put that, especially at CES. Why would you not put that out to let people know it's coming? Motion, that's what motion interpolation is for, Julio. I mean, I don't know what you mean by action movies not looking good at 24 FPS. Most films are in 24 FPS. They might be filmed at a higher bit rate. Watch Gemini Man and tell me what you think about action scenes at 60 FPS. Universal made a lot of money on Trolls. Yeah, we did talk about it. Apparently, they lost a lot of money too. Tomek, what's up? Tomek Zila from Poland. How's everything, my friend? Tomek has been there since the beginning. Much love to Tomek. Tomek has a Sony 930E. Still a great display, but much love to Tomek, man. You've been here since we had like 5 subs, my friend. Hope everything is well in Poland. Hope you guys are safe out there. Tom Giordano, how are you, Tom? Yes, Marcus. FreeSync is AMD. So maybe, LG had a falling out with them. Which, again, that might make me reconsider the purchase I'm looking to make, because I am looking at the CX, but I do console game. I'd like to have, free sync or variable refresh rate as well, which actually, they do have variable refresh rate already. What am I talking about? Very touchy subject right now on YouTube. A lot of people are battling about that. Tom, trying to decide HDR in game mode between 950H, 900H, or Q80. I guess you mean, Tom, like, are you going to purchase one of those three displays? As far as which one will look best in game mode, just retype that question for me, my friend. Oh, okay. Heard Samsung doesn't use local dimming in game mode. That's been interesting. I mean, we saw that on Vincent's Brass Tax. So I don't think it's in here anymore. Was in the chat before. Said he was able to get the picture quality looking good on the game mode on Samsung. There was some talk about in order to make the image or make the input lag and latency as low as possible, they do disable local dimming. That I've heard to be true. That would be a huge issue because I do like local dimming on high. So is Samsung doing that? That's what I hear. Can you circumvent it and just re-enable game mode and bring up the lag? That I don't know with specificity, but I would go with the 950H. I don't know what the 900H is going to look like. I have to wait for the reviews to come out to really tell you. I have a feeling it's not going to look as good as the 950H. Anthony, still hoping for the LG Nano this year, full array. Yeah, most definitely. It needs to be better. Yeah, the Final Fantasy looks amazing, Marcus, on the C9. James, I do have a surround system. I have an AV receiver. I go 7.2 surround, HD sound. Trevor, with 850 pounds difference, it had to be the 950G over the 950H. Guys like that. Sony does have all them options. Yeah, I mean, Sony's very flexible with their image. Yeah, Shamar was talking about, and we mentioned this before Shamar jumped on, is that when the Z9D came out, which I actually bought, and then I had to cancel my order just because for a gaming display, I needed a faster pixel response. But the Z9D, the KS9800, and even a 940E were as close to OLED as I've ever seen an LED look. As far as black level, and then having the peak brightness actually beat OLED, especially OLEDs at that time weren't very bright at all. But they're not making displays like that right now. I mean, as far as that zone count, maybe the Z9G and the very large, but they make very few of those anyway. But that's why I liked what Vizio did. Vizio was still going with the very high zone count and peak brightness, but I don't think Sony's going back there just because I think it's too expensive. I think it's too expensive. I don't think people care from what they say in those focus groups. They'll put out. People are still going to buy. The average person is still going to walk into the store and buy a new Q80T. They don't care about the Q80R or the Q90. Grounded Gamer, what's up, my friend? And guys, do me a favor. If you see Shamar in there, you see Grounded Gamer in there, why don't you check out their channels? Shamar just started doing some content showing his displays. Grounded Gamer has a channel as well. And if you guys have channels and you're jumping in here, one, let me know, and then I'll make sure to let everybody else know. So please check out Grounded Gamer. He's a great guy. And check out, he's doing some video game stuff on his channel. Check him out, please. Same with Shamar. I know Shamar is just doing it as a little bit of a hobby. But Shamar having the Z9D, which is a legendary display, and also the A9G legendary in itself, that's great content right there, Shamar. So I would keep going with it. Shamar knows this stuff. And I'll tell you, YouTube, I did it because it's really doing what we're doing now is just talking. I don't know anything more than you guys. So I just have a good time talking to you guys. And I don't look at it as work. And I don't treat it like it's work. It's not a job or anything. So I would, if you guys have a voice and you want to talk about this stuff, start channels. I'll be happy to support you as much as I possibly can. I would just say this with channels. If I'm going to support you or recommend you guys, I only recommend positive channels. So people that are just try to keep things positive. I'm not a toxic guy. I don't watch anything toxic myself. So that's one thing I'll put out there. But then again, this community, those of you that have been part of the community, I don't allow toxicity on the channel anyway. So I've been told by larger YouTubers that I've actually impeded the growth of the channel by being a bouncer on my channel. So what I'm saying is that when I see people attack each other, I erase the whole thread. I don't mind if people disagree with me, that's fine. But when you attack each other and then there's racial and homophobic and all kinds of other things, I just have no desire to see that on my own channel. I don't watch it myself on YouTube. So I keep a very positive community, and you guys are very, very positive. So I love doing this, but I'm not into the toxicity on YouTube. So I would encourage, if you're going to start a channel, I would just, be yourself. But for me, I'm all about trying to be as positive. I want to bring stuff to people's life, not take it away. And when I say that, guys, I'm not talking about a specific channel. I'm talking about YouTube in general. I don't have time to be, negative or anything like that. Let's see. Yes, Diesel, we talked about that in the last video, but HDMI, it's primarily being 4K 120. Do me a favor, check out that video. We talk about that, where it's going to be a luxury to have 4K 120, but it's not something they're going to hit. Grounded Gamer saying that yes, they have variable refresh rate now. FreeSync is coming to the CX. That'd be nice. Oh, Lynx Lizard, you went and watched Thor, huh? Yeah. So guys, check out the other channel, the other videos that I do on the channel. Actually, I'm going to try and do more movie reviews and things like that. So, I'll be doing a little bit of everything. So I did a review on Extraction on Netflix. It was awesome. I love that movie. It looked incredible. I mean, that movie was incredible. Hold on, I'm going too fast. Anthony, still kicking myself for not getting the Sony 930E. What's funny, Anthony, is that you had the KS 8500. Yeah, I did have that too. The Edgelit, it was a nightmare. Tomic also has a 930E below you on the comments. The 930E is one of the best displays I've ever seen. It was also one of the most effective displays I've ever seen, meaning, I'm careful here, the channel was made out of the panel lottery. So out of panels that were defective. So a lot of people that were having issues report into me every day about the displays they had the biggest problems with. The 930E was one of the most popular, but also one of the most effective, meaning that it had an edge-lit kind of full array hybrid. And it was a display that if it got beat up in shipping, it wasn't going to do well. You'd see edge-lit bleed and a lot of blooming. When that TV is spot on, it's incredible. So that's why I don't think they made them anymore. Chris watched it twice. You watched Extraction twice, Chris. I thought it was good, man. You know what's funny about that is I actually didn't watch the movie. What did I lose? Was it Chris? Did I lose Chris? I didn't watch the movie because I actually Chris Helmsworth, I kind of, I didn't want to see him. I get tired of the same actors. So I actually typecast him and I didn't watch it. And then I watched it because I saw a review. I saw a interview with a director, and he's like a John Wick kind of director in the sense of that he's a stuntman that became a director. So I really wanted to see the movie and I loved it. I love Chris Hemsworth. He's great. I just seeing him in a different role was really cool. And he is in a different role. Paul, yeah, NanoCell wasn't very good at all. All right, sorry, I'm getting mixed up with my comments. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. I got to catch up. Okay. Oh, James, too, about this is the last year for 4K. You might very well be right. I will say this is the last year. This is James. This will be the last year for probably high-end 4K. I think you're going to see what happened with Samsung, where they're going to move on to 8K, and then the 4K displays will be available for the next 5 years. It just won't be the highest end ones. Okay, I went way too far up. Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me a minute. Anthony Giglio, what's up, my friend? Yeah, David, you liked Extraction as well. Let's see. Oh, Daniel's back. What's up, Daniel? Diesel, did you like Extraction? Shamar, my pleasure, man. You know, Shamar, you've been on the channel a lot, and Shamar again is a very positive guy, works really hard, and like I said, I'm always down to support anybody who's deciding that we need more positive people on YouTube. Trevor, what's up, my friend? Yeah, Trevor. I mean, I consider myself a positive person. I'm not Tony Robbins positive. Like I'm not, I'm not like that. But I don't see any reason to talk badly of other people or to be full of hate on something I do in my free time, in my regular time. But you know, I gotta set a good example for my daughters. Raymond, my family's doing okay, my friend. We've had a lot of sickness in my immediate family. There's been some scary things. There's been some hospital visits, and we've had people pass away in this, not in my family, but in this community around here. So that's why you haven't seen as much content from me. I plan on doing 1 or 2 videos a day and just pumping out content. And a lot of YouTubers, again, larger than me, have told me to hang back and not release things too quickly. That doesn't really work for me. I have to put out as much content as I can. So I'll be doing more content. But thank you. I do appreciate it, Raymond. I'm doing okay, my man. Doing okay. I hope you guys are doing okay. JVHXLY2, could I please sort my playlist on YouTube? That's a great suggestion. I will tell you why that's a great suggestion. There are 720 videos on my channel. I pump them out. And I will tell you why. I will do that. I actually am going to do that. That's a great idea. I'm going to do all the tech therapy videos together. When I'm, and this is for, you know, Shamar and anybody else, you know, that want to do YouTube. To me, it's more about when I'm playing a video game in the middle of the night, I immediately think about the community and I immediately want to share that. And that's why we talked about this pandemic and people getting lonely and isolated. I think about video games and movies like sports. And I want to share that. When, you know, I watched, you know, Super Bowl, you're like, yeah, there's nobody around. There is a loneliness that comes with that. There is an isolation that comes with that. So for me to be able to just shoot a video of whatever game I'm playing and show you guys, even if only a couple hundred people watch that video, I want to still put that content out. As somebody who's a YouTuber who's growing their channel, the idea is to get as many views and likes as you can and all that. The problem is I want to do what I want to do, and I want to share what I want to share. I don't want to be like anybody else. I don't want to have to only do certain things. So, you know, that's the best part about this, is being able to share what I'm playing and what I'm doing, and I'll worry about the views and that stuff after. But I will, my point of what I just said, the whole thing is, my point is I do need to sort them out. I will do a playlist, my friend, and I will start doing that. Oh, Frank, you like the Extraction too? I'm glad you guys liked it. Jimmy Two Shoes. Jimmy, how are you, my friend? Jimmy's another one that's been on the channel for a long time. Shout out to Jimmy and his family. Jimmy, I hope all is well, my friend. Yeah, slim black light on the 930 still was an edgelit display. It was just a hybrid, but it was still, you know, still considered edgelit. Thank you, Grounded Gamer. Positive vibes to you too, man. Keep it going too. Keep doing that content. And again, for anybody that's going to start YouTube, I'll tell you this. Don't get frustrated. If you're going to do YouTube, if you're going to start making videos, your first few videos are going to have 0 views, no views. I'm not somebody who's going to tell you how to be successful on YouTube. I'm not successful on YouTube. I'm not blowing it out of the park. There are people that are really growing their channels. I'm also a father. I have 2 kids. I have a career outside of YouTube as well. But I think if you want to do YouTube, start it as a hobby, like somebody like Shamar, who's just got an amazing setup at home. He's got the Z9D, the A9G, Grounded Gamer has got a nice system too. Do it because you want to, and then let people find you little by little. And I would say my advice is try to keep some energy, some positive energy, and be genuine. But do it because you want to, and then people will find you. But don't be upset if your first 10, 15, 20 videos have 1 view, 2 views. It's like any social media. You put something out to the world, and then nobody likes or says happy birthday, it's going to work. It's going to create a deficit. So I would say, if you're going to do YouTube, just take your time with it and just do it for fun. Don't take it personal if people don't watch. Tell me about it and I'll watch. I'm not using the MacBook Pro anymore. Am I on Twitter, Grounded Gamer? I am not. I am somebody who is, I'm on my phone way too much as it is. And the reason why I'm on my phone so much is I treat the comments on the channel, they're very important to me. So I respond to every comment that I get. If I miss your comments, just make sure you resubmit. I do spend most of my time responding in the comments. So Twitter would just be another part of me being on my phone. I just can't do it with my kids. That's where YouTube can be. It does take time. I'm spending a couple of hours on a Sunday with you guys, but that's why, to me, you guys are family. And the reason why this live chat, there's nothing in this chat that I'm telling you that you guys don't already know. I just want to give you guys a few hours to not think about what's outside. That's the whole point of this live chat. It's not really, I'm not teaching anybody anything. We all know the same stuff. It's just really to get, we've had 50, 60 people in here. You got 45 people in here watching us talk back and forth. Now, are you guys watching me? Yeah, I'm the face that's on the camera, but we're all in here hanging out together. That's all the Whisper Status thing is. That's all it is. It's just us having a commentary, meaning what you guys say, Anthony, Daniel, Marcus, all you guys, it's your information. It's what I know and what you know, which is what really is what I do here. It's never going to be me talking at you. It's just me hanging out with you guys. That's all it'll ever be. I don't care if this channel blows up. It'll never change. I have no desire. Even my collaboration with Value Electronics is a partnership because they sell all kinds of displays. They sell everything imaginable. Now, does that mean I'll stop recommending Vizio, TCL, and Hisense? Absolutely not. I'm not making any money recommending anything. I'm just hoping that they'll lend me displays. But at the same time, other than shouting that out, I want to be as genuine as possible. And I want nothing but for you guys to have what's best for you. So when you guys, again, I said this earlier, when you guys say, what's the best display? My thing is, what's the best display for you? What display do you want? What display are you looking at? And what's best for you and your family? Not what's best for the elite or people that have a lot of money. I'll always try and find you the best that you can. So let's go down. Tomek, start a channel on YouTube, man. I will absolutely help you out. You saw someone with my YouTube handle, thought it was me on Twitter. Really? That's interesting. That might be one of the people on YouTube that actually hates me. I actually have a lot of hate on YouTube, if you can actually, I'm sure you guys can imagine. I'm sure you've heard the videos that have been made. Grounded Gamer, yep. Yeah, James, Spare Change is a friend outside of YouTube. I actually know him. We don't live far apart, so you'll see more with us together as well, and Brass Tacks as well. But yeah, Shane is a great guy. Shane knows this stuff, especially projectors and really high-end audio. Shane's the guy to ask. Yeah, Daniel, it's my thing, man. So Robert Rodriguez, you're gonna see him in the chat. Robert is actually my trainer and is my cousin. So if you see him in the chat, Robert is, owns his own fitness gym, wellness and fitness, and his gym has been closed due to what's happening out there. And he's doing more like Zoom training and things like that. But he started a YouTube channel, so check him out. if you want to see some workouts and stuff for at home, because a lot of us are trying to stay fit. He's been training me since this pandemic started. He's my family. I love him. He's one of my best friends in the world, but I got him to start a YouTube channel. So if you see him, kindly check off his name and check him out. Same with Shamar and, Grounded Gamer. But, Robert's doing a lot of good for people that can't get out of their house right now. So give him a look. He just started his channel. He's probably only got about 15, 20 videos on there. But if you want some free fitness, check him out. It's my boy. I love him. And he's trained me for many, many years. Let's see. X1 Extreme or X1 Ultimate, is there a big difference? Diesel, Shamar is going to jump all over me. I don't see a huge difference in the chipsets, honestly. Right now I have the 900E next to the 950H, and I don't see a huge difference. I think the, upscaling is probably cleaner on the display, but it's not for me, it's not night and day. But then again, I don't really buy into the processors being a huge difference. I know that the CX has a better processor than the C9, and I would make my decision based on that at all. Am I going to say, Diesel, that's marketing? I don't think it's just marketing, but it is important. Actually, hold on one second. I have to replug in my laptop. I guess going MacBook Pro's battery life isn't great. I'm at 12%. Plug this in a second. Sorry about that. If this thing just dies, I will be very upset. We've been going for 2 hours and 6 minutes. And there's Shamar right there. So yeah, there you go. Shamar, he definitely thinks there's a big difference. I don't think there's a huge difference, but he does think there's a big difference. Oh, Anthony's saying the PlayStation Gold wireless headset. John B, why would anyone hate you? Believe me, a lot of people dislike me on YouTube. I'm not looking, it's the way it is, my friend. It's not anybody in specific, but I do have videos that are directed at me, or comments that come in, but it's the way YouTube is. I mean, what's amazing, I'll tell you this, we've got 49 people here now, 48. We've had as much as 60 people in here. There hasn't been one negative comment. I don't have a moderator on. I don't need anything like that. And to have this many people in here talking about technology and being able to talk, like for instance, Shamar loves Sony. I love Sony. I have all Sony products, but him and I can have a conversation without all of a sudden telling him he's wrong or he's telling me I'm wrong. And that's what discussion is. So when people say to me, for instance, perfect example. So when Artings does a video, or Vincent, I'll do videos discussing that channel or discussing that video. Now, why? Is because it's discussion. We're talking about discussion. We can have conversation about sports and everything else, and have what's lost in this world now is discussion. Now it's just everybody yelling at everybody. I'm not looking to do that, and I don't have any desire in my free time to yell at people or to get, but it gets ugly. I have no desire to, and I won't give energy to it, or, I'm not looking to do that. Again, this is my free time that I'm giving, of my life. I want to do it by making you guys happy, or hopefully distracting. If you guys and we've been going for 2 hours and 8 minutes, I want to be able to add a distraction to you, not create more hate. Hold on one second. Let me plug this in. Oh, we're charging. Okay. Let's see. Let me go back. So again, why would anybody hate me? I want to spend a lot of time on this. I've done videos on this before. This is the thing about, out of 700 videos, I've done a couple rant videos. Some of them have been on negativity and toxicity in the comments. And well, people say, well, hey, if you remove a comment, why do I remove comments? And I'll remove comments from people that I like. But let's just say, for example, John, you asked that question. You jump in the channel and you ask me a question about a Vizio or about a Sony. And then someone right away tells you that thing's a piece of crap or it's garbage or it's trash. You'll never hear me say that. I don't want somebody putting somebody else down or putting down their technology or trashing it. I don't know what your financial situation is, John. And I want people of this channel and this community to be from all walks of life, all countries, everybody, as diverse as possible. I don't want to, I'm not doing videos on Bugattis, but if I did, I want to do a video on a Hyundai. That's just who I am and what I have in my real life. I'm not going to pretend to be something that I'm not, but I'm also at the same time not going to shut down other people and shut down their stuff. I want everybody to just, I want to add. I don't want to subtract from people's life. When I want something that's super negative, I find myself, when it's cringy, I find myself at a deficit. Like I feel tired after watching something like that. It makes me uncomfortable when I watch other people hate each other. That's not a YouTube thing. And for those of you who think I'm talking about specific YouTube people, I don't give that any thought. I promise you, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. But it does come up from time to time because I think people want to see that drama on YouTube. I won't give it any credit. I'm talking about, and we'll stay on this for a second. I'm talking about in your life in general, negativity. When you talk about family and friends, if you have those friends you talk to on the phone and then you say, a rhetorical question is, how are you? Hey, how are you? Oh man, this is before all this, the pandemic. I'm talking about just in general. And then all of a sudden, that person's talked for the last 20 minutes and it's all been complaining, their job, their life, their work, their family. And then all of a sudden you find yourself feeling completely at a deficit. You're drained and you haven't even had a chance to talk. I don't want that. My Facebook or my Instagram does not have what I complain about on it. I'm not a political person. This channel will never allow that. I don't speak on that stuff at all, but I'm not going to spend my time complaining. I love sports. My team sucks. I'm like, damn, I'm not going to go and rant about it. So you're not going to see that here. And that's turned people off in the past because I won't let people destroy other people. So even some of my favorite people that have been on this channel over the years aren't here anymore simply because I won't allow them to beat up other people. In real life, I wouldn't allow somebody to beat you up in front of me. I'm a big boy. I would help you. But I'm not somebody who's going to jump on and bully people. And I don't believe I'm right. There's nothing that I know here that you guys don't know. And if you ask my opinion, I'll give you my honest opinion. Like we were just talking with Shamar, about those displays. I'm not going to get into toxicity. I have no desire to do that. So that's the only reason why, I keep it that way. To have people gang up on each other, I don't care. I want you to have whatever it is that makes you happy. And again, I'm here to only make things better, not make them worse. If people like that drama, you're not going to find it here at all. All right. Yusuf, I'm watching you for Rocky with the good work. Oh, thank you, my friend. Don't worry about the hate. Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. And I wasn't going on a rant about that, but I want you guys to just get a feeling for, as being a creator, I have no desire to get caught up in it. S Medina. If you guys want to see the S Medina in action, like Shamar, S Medina has the A9G as well. Now, about the S Medina, had an LG, didn't like LG, and actually didn't like one of the other Sony OLEDs either. But he has the A9G, absolutely loves it, and he does have some videos on his channel. So like Shamar, check out Medina's channel if you want to see what the A9G can really do. He absolutely loves the display. What's up, S Medina? I try, franchise. I try, my friend. And guys, as far as being positive, it's not easy being positive with all that's happening in this world. And, but that's why I'm trying to keep things as real as possible. You know, I think with YouTube as well is I think people look at creators, even though my channel is tiny, it looks like what we do is like, it's got nothing going on. We all have our stuff. You know, my thing is to relate to you as much as possible. That's why you're not seeing me buy a display right now. Do I still want to buy one? Of course. But the things I had planned are on hold. Doesn't mean I still won't buy something, but you know, it's gonna have to happen when it happens. Yeah, Daniel, I do. And I do care what happens to this. I mean, that's why we're doing this today. It's got nothing to do with me live streaming. We're not talking about anything other than just life. Just want to make sure you guys are okay. You know, and I am going to stay on this subject for a second. I've talked to many people in this community on the side. We have a lot of depression in this community. We have a lot of addiction in this community. We have a lot of isolation in this community. And I do worry when I hear somebody tell me that they're really struggling and then I don't hear from them again. Suicide is huge. It's happening. I want to make sure you guys are okay. I do connect with you. That tech therapy is that's why I do those videos. That's what the channel is at its core. And I do care about that versus what TV you have. And I do know that right now it's a very isolating time. If you're somebody, even if you have family or don't have family or have friends, you have me here. You have all you guys here. I watched a lot of this chat as you guys talking to each other. That's awesome. I'm not breaking up any fights. There's no drama, but seeing you guys connect with each other. And even if you go watch S. Medina or watch Shamar, go check out their channels. Help them grow their channels just because they're regular people. They're just regular people at their house, just like I am doing my thing. MC68, how are you, my friend? I appreciate you too. I appreciate you guys. Look, I'm nobody. To have you guys, this many of you guys in here watching for me this long, it's amazing. And it's humbling that you guys even care to watch. But I do really appreciate it. Where are we? Yeah, Diesel, we can act like adults, definitely. I guess my point with that is I won't cultivate that culture in the sense of letting childish things fester. You know, it's only a matter of time before it gets stupid or gets loud and gets cursing and gets nuts. And believe me, YouTube is pulling those channels down anyway. So, you know, I'm not looking to do that. S. Medina, Bugatti. All right, I got behind in my comments. Thank you, Tom. Anthony, take care, brother. Thanks for jumping in. Grab something to eat. Thank you, Daniel. Love you too, Dartman. Yeah, I gotta get that as a in a manly sort of way. I got you. Yeah, see, Diesel's checking out Shamar. There you go. Boom. What's up for dinner tonight? It is 5 o'clock here. I don't know. I'm fasting right now, so I'm trying to get healthy while we're in this nightmare of a time right now. God of War 8585. Should I upgrade my 930E? It is real. Thank you for your question, God of War 8585. It is very hard for me to recommend upgrading a display like that. If you're happy with the 930E, I don't see anything out right now that blows it away. And I don't think many of the LEDs now compare to it. So the 930E was a really special display. It was a rare display, vibrancy, color. So as long as the only way I'd recommend going up is if you're going up in size. If you're staying at that size, then I can't recommend moving up from it. I just can't. I don't think LEDs made a big jump since then. All right, guys, we're at 2 hours, 19 minutes. I'm going to go for another 10 minutes. So we're about 5 o'clock. So yeah, so go about another 10 minutes. How are you guys doing? You guys doing okay? Diesel Reddit. I'm not a big forum guy. I don't really read a lot on Reddit. I'm also not a really big I'm not a really big conspiracy guy. I don't have a lot of time for that kind of stuff. And I would say this too with things like Reddit. Is there information? Of course, I read Reddit for certain things, but I want to see a face when someone's telling me something. You know, if someone's going to tell me about a conspiracy or this is happening, I do want to see their face before I just read somebody who's typing away in a forum. I have no idea who they are. Hey, Krill Trill, rocking. Oh, he's got the C9. You're rocking some Warzone. How are you liking Warzone? HGIG franchise. I don't remember if we were talking. Just elaborate a little bit more on that from my friend. Sad Night Bot. No, I don't need anything like that, my friend. Thank you for saying hello, though. RM, am I excited for the new consoles? I am. I'll tell you why. And again, I'll be careful here. I think the Xbox One X is awesome. I think the PS4 Pro is awesome. I think the Pro, I was just playing Until Dawn last night. I was amazed by the visuals. But I will tell you that playing PC and even the games you see me do videos on, the clarity on PC, the lines, the lack of shimmering, the lack of pop-in, that's what I'm looking forward to from Sony and Xbox. I'm looking forward to them. I feel like they totally missed 1080p, to be honest. Neither one of them really achieved 1080p 60. I really wanted to see, I mean, PlayStation 4 did better than Xbox, but if you go back and watch Battlefield 4 on Xbox, it's a mess. I mean, it's just a shimmery. It's really, go back and watch some of those games again. So I am looking forward to them being as clean. I think you're going to feel like the new PS5 and the Xbox One X are going to be PC powerful, which is what I'm looking forward to. I think it'll be amazing. And then for the PS5 to have those exclusives, to me, the Xbox Series X is going to be awesome, but it's going to be a PC, and I'll have that for multiplayer, which is what I play with Paul, who's on here. MC68, I got a C9 on Friday. Amazing. Yeah, congratulations, MC68. And you know, being a Sony fanboy or a Samsung fanboy, believe me, I've had all of them. I was a Samsung guy for a really long time. I had a lot of defective Samsungs, but I can't let that sway what I recommend to you guys, because that Samsungs are sold. So there's so many sold. My bad luck with them can't make me sway it. It's why I still recommend Vizio, even though I've had bad luck with them. But Samsung, I love their color. I love the way things have looked, but I do love, again, you know, MC, if Samsung had an OLED, you might have a different thought. And they are going to be doing OLED soon, somewhat their kind of thing. Oh, so the HGIG franchise with the C9. Okay, yeah, you said it makes a big difference, huh? Awesome. No, Tomek, Panasonic did not bring their OLEDs to the US. If they had, I would have had one, no doubt. Shamar, me too, because you know Panasonic, they're pushing the brightest OLEDs. They also have HDR10 plus. They have Dolby Vision. They have them all, and they're very. And I just trust their quality. My plasma's been on the wall forever, not one problem with it. Outside of that, I've had 11 or 12 defective displays in a row. So none of them Panasonic. Marcus, you had 2 bad KS8000s. I had 3 bad KS9000s, 2 KS9500s, and 2 KS9800s, all defective. The KS8000s were awesome at the time. Yeah, Panasonic is not in the U.S., Tom. Like they're only in Europe, from what I understand. They might be in other areas. They did stop going somewhere else as well. Is there anything else in here you guys want to discuss before we get out of here? Still got 41 of you guys left in here. Is there anything you guys want to cover? Anything you guys want to ask me? Youssef, as far as GPUs, more Yusuf had a great comment. I really hope we see more competition in PC GPUs as the current pricing is quite high. I completely agree. What's going to be interesting, Yusuf, is if AMD can compete GPU-wise the way they're doing it with their CPUs, that will be very interesting. Yes, and NVIDIA is controlling the top part of that market. They are the only game in town if you want a certain level, but they are charging a huge premium for it. I have a 1080 Ti, and I have no desire to upgrade it yet, well, especially not for $2,000. So I'd love to see what they bring out soon. But yeah, AMD, the reason why I'm not even upgrading my CPU now is because AMD has got so many good CPUs and Intel is still Intel. So we'll see. It's just, it is, I do wish it was more competitive because that's what we say about competition, guys. I really want Vizio, Hisense, and those other guys to do well because it's going to breed competition. It's making the C9 was actually pretty cheap at the end of last year. So Paulo, 5 a.m. Where are you, Paulo? Where are you in Spain, Paulo? Portugal? My pleasure, my friend. Go to bed. 5 a.m. You haven't slept yet. Go to bed. Thanks for hanging out, my friend. If you guys have a better time for me to do this, I tried to aim these so I could get a lot of people in. When is my next live stream, Cause and Effect? I'll do another one next Sunday. DJ 970 Ti, awesome. I had two 980s in SLI, which I love, but they just really they didn't work together, and SLI was like completely abandoned once I jumped onto it. Anthony, if Panasonic had an OLED in USA, I would purchase it. I would too. Oh, you have a 50. So you have a VT50. Those are awesome. Yeah, Dart, man, the crypto mining definitely. I paid probably $300 more than I should have for my 1080 Ti because of cryptocurrency. But I had two 980s that together cost more than a 1080 Ti, and half my games weren't even using SLI. So I did a video on that. I had one card doing nothing, and it killed me to spend that. I sold them for nothing as well. Nightmare. But SLI, I'm not sure Crossfire is even supported that much anymore either. Much love, Treasure, from Grimsby, UK. Awesome. Cool, Yusuf. Yeah, I got on a little after 2:30. It's 5 o'clock, and I was a little bit late trying to figure out how to actually go live. So we'll do another few minutes, do another 5 minutes. I have no idea, Trevor, about cryptocurrency, if it's a good time to invest in it at all. Yeah, Cause and Effect, thanks for jumping in, man. I'll do it again in the community. The last one was about 2.5 hours. I don't know if I'll keep them as long, but Tomek, it's 11 p.m. in Poland, man. How's everything in Poland, Tomek? Things are all right? Still got 39 people in here. That's incredible. Trevor, 10 p.m. My pleasure, Trevor. Yeah, I don't know a lot about cryptocurrency, my man. I don't. All right, guys. So we're at about 2 hours, 30 minutes. Now, before I end the live stream, if you guys can just say what's up as you guys log off. That way I don't want to just end the stream on you guys. I'd appreciate that. Adam Alexander, Sweden, 11 p.m. Man, I'm keeping you guys up late. LD Tatum just bought a C9. I'm glad you like it. Any new games I'm looking forward to? Yeah, Last of Us is the one I'm looking forward to. Doom Eternal was my favorite game. I didn't like it as much as Doom 2016, though. I know that's not popular. But I don't know. I have so many games built up, I have to play them. A lot of love, Trevor. All right, guys, we'll do 5 more minutes just to say goodbye to you guys. What headset? I just use the regular headset for Xbox, Jonathan, just because I have a surround sound, a 7.2 system, so I want to make sure. Riley, what's up, man? Yeah, go watch Extraction. You got to jump in those comments while we're talking, Riley. Hope all's well. Am I doing any 4K disc reviews? I do, Greg, here and there. I don't get them early enough. I tend to do ones that I really, really want for you guys. There's not a lot of interest on the channel for me doing 4K reviews, but if you guys are interested, I'll do more of them. Bye, Tomek. Take care. Do I have a C9 video whisper? I have about 100 of them. I'm coming out, sweetheart. I'm coming out. I have a lot of videos on the C9. It was my favorite display last year by a lot. It was my favorite one. So, DJ Dell, take care. Thank you so much, my friend, for jumping in. Killer Master, I'm good, brother. Hope you didn't just jump in. We're about to end, but I wanted to say goodbye to everybody. I hope everything's on. Killer Master is one of the few people that love the long videos. Marcus, take care, bro. Yeah, Alexis, I feel you, man. I feel you. Got to keep an eye on the news, brother. Much love in Bridgeport. Keop 901, where do I see PC gaming going in the future? That's a great question. What's funny is PC tends to just be obviously more powerful, but console tends to push the technology forward. I think just by making the most of what technology there is, I think you're going to see a lot of ray tracing, a lot of techniques like that, because they're really focusing on giving you more performance, I think, because of ray tracing. So, PC gets caught up too much in frames per second than they do in making things look better in terms of like ray tracing and adding shaders. I hope PC just does more of that technology, the DLSS, making things run better. But things are getting to where we just need good games. It's kind of like 4K, 8K. Just make what you're doing better and refine it more than just adding more numbers. So PC will always be out there, but it'll be interesting to see what the consoles will do, because the consoles are, they're doing their thing, man. If they're gonna release an Xbox Series X XX, people are gonna spend $500 instead of spending $1,000 on a CPU or a GPU. Yeah, Riley, keep buying them, man. Honey Bunny, take care, my friend. Thank you for jumping in. Paul, I'll talk to you on the phone later, brother. Franchise 254, thank you so much. Got 26 of you guys left. As you guys jump out, say goodbye. I don't want to just close the stream. It's weird about the streaming thing. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys want more of this, let me know. If you guys do like this format, and I'll get more videos going as well. Greg, hope all's good in Australia, brother. Take care, mate. I don't know what time it must be in Australia. Jesus. Alexis, take care of Vasquez. I have to say your last name, or Google will jump on me in the. Oh, Greg, you're in the UK. That's right. Take care, Jonathan. Julio, take care. Riley, be well, my friend. Thomas, what's up? Killer Master, take care. Trevor, much love, brother. Thomas, I'm doing well, man. Been rocking 2 hours, 35 minutes. So we're about to end it. So I'm sorry if you're coming in late. Raymond, take care. Youssef, take care, my friend. Thomas, what time is it over there in Northern Ireland, my friend? I'm actually half Irish, if you believe that. All right, 20 left. 10 p.m. Okay, it's not bad. Two hours. Yeah, we did 2 hours, 30 minutes, Killer Master. My family's going to kill me when I get outside. Thomas, thanks for saying hello, man. I'll see you soon. Hope all's well. 18 of you guys left. Thanks, Anthony. Stay safe too, brother. Thanks for saying hello. Thanks for hanging out and watching. $19 left. All right, guys, I'm going to call it. Thank you so much for joining me in the live stream. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for being. Hey, Luke, what's up, my man? Sorry that we're ending it right here. Hopefully you didn't just jump on. We've been going for about 2 hours, 37 minutes. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for chatting with me. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream, and I will see you on the videos. Please hit the notification bell because I do videos every day, every few days, and there's a lot of videos on there that aren't always about TVs. We'll cover everything. All right, guys, I will see you soon. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Be safe. Take care, and I will see you in the comments.